Start with the number. So
Well,
Ooh.
hello everyone. Welcome to It's a Long Story. And I just wanted to jump in right there because we just found out from our amazing scorekeepers and note takers that this is the Mongoose Crew 100th episode, which is very exciting. Yeah.
You mean session, because we haven't been
session.
recording for 100 episodes. I'm just saying.
That's right.
you
That's
guys
right.
did some good stuff.
And last session.
You guys have missed some
done
stuff,
with us.
and it was good. And
I
it was
died.
good.
I haven't cried on camera yet. I'm very proud.
You've gotten pretty dang close. But anyways, hello everyone. Welcome to It's a Long Story, a tri-weekly campaign run in the homebrew world of Imaea. Specifically, this is also possibly the only couple weeks or so, depending on what's happening, where all three campaigns are actually running specifically in North Imaea, which is super cool and exciting. But we are here with the Mongoose Crew, our Wednesday night crew. Guys, give me one more wave. It's the 100th episode. You're gonna watch this one maybe years and years from now. So we are joining our Mongoose Crew friends as they are in a world that is very, very far outside of any of their understanding, except for one player who would call this area home. But before we get into jumping into that, we're going to go into where we last left off. So, Royal Scribe, if you do the honors.
Yeah. We last left off with Guar on house arrest. And Corvos, King Corvos, basically saying that we'll need to interrogate Harris's dead body in front of the council and him and figure out what's going on. And then Guar will be, all of us agree Guar will be set free and he's fine. And then Eldrin went and cast Raise Dead on Catherine. And they have a very tense discussion. And after that, Eldrin tells her she'll be back tomorrow, which might now be a lie. Wilbur went somewhere quiet to plan out what he's going to say to Cerilius. And upon meeting up, Eldrin, upon meeting up with him, they decide to go talk to Zaris and ask if he knows Cerilius and can maybe help get him here to answer some questions. Saren runs into Guar, finds out that he's under house arrest and what happened, but leaves him to find Eldrin and Wilbur. And all three of them go up to Zaris' tower to talk to him about various things. When we get there, Milo is already with Zaris. So Eldrin fills Milo in on what's going on with Guar so that we're all on the same page. And then we proceed to ask Zaris if he knows who Cerilius is. Turns out he does not, but he does have a book. He doesn't know him personally, but he does have a book called Cerilius the Fallen, which was written by Melissa Fallbreach. If I say that right? Okay. And so Eldrin and Wilbur can't get past how the book is written, but so they're not able to really read it, even though they understand the language. Saren, on the other hand, can, and so she does agree that she'll read it during her trance time. So Saren then talks to Zaris about what happened to her, she's told by Zarth that the potion was for Guar, and that um, and that basically it did what it was supposed to do. It removed the soul and the body or whatever, and it's not his fault that we didn't figure out what we're supposed to do after that. She also proceeds to tell him that she might be the Grim Reaper, and then explains everything to him except in detail, except she doesn't mention Beneseppa's name, which Eldrin then promptly mentions. And multiple candles in the room go out, and Saren feels a shudder, which scares the shit out of Zaris because that just the name bypassed his glyphs. He's one of the most powerful people that he knows, and that shouldn't have happened, and it did. So after that, let's see. After that, we switch over. Well, so Eldrin, Saren, and Wilbur decide to go find Guar so that we can discuss what to do next while Milo stays behind with Zaris. So we cut over to Guar, who is kind of just chilling, and finds the only book written in common in the room that he's in, and it basically is just about the Enrath family. The most interesting thing about it is that it has pages ripped out, and then a note from our good friend Hagen. So, which is something he hasn't told anyone yet because there's more important things going on. Excitingly, Broomhilda shows up, a spectral Broomhilda or whatever, and basically says she's just checking in on us. Guar gets her up to speed about what's going on, and let's see. She tells Guar that she's currently in North Imaea near Wilbur's home. She does agree to go out for a drink with Guar if we kill Tal. Is it Riley or Rayleigh?
It's Raleigh Samira, which becomes Riley.
Wait,
So you
how
can
should
just
I
put
pronounce
Riley.
it? Oh, okay, but it's pronounced Raleigh.
No. What I'm saying is, so her name is Raleigh Samira, but she tells people you can just call me Riley.
Okay. Yeah. So Riley's also with Broomhilda, and her and Guar have a little chat through Broomhilda, which was fun. So then the Mongoose Crew minus Milo show up in Guar's room, and they discuss what to do next. There's a few things that they want to figure out. They need to figure out what's happening with Saren. They need to contact Cerilius. They need to talk to Glorian about Adim, and also cast Speak with Dead on Harris to clear Guar's name. Guar and Eldrin kind of they kind of steamroll over Saren as they try and get her to explain what's going on. When she's able to get a word out, she explains her new powers and responsibilities a little bit. Guar and Eldrin agree that we'll call Beneseppa Chad. And basically Saren divulges that she did sign a contract that she couldn't read, but she did it because it was the only way to save Wilbur. Milo comes back, asks us why we're all yelling, and shows us that he learned prestidigitation, right? That's what you learned? Okay. And then Noros comes back from hanging out with his dad, and he had a weird experience with him thanks to Guar. His dad was nice and hugged him and asked him how he was doing, and they hung out. So we also find out that the teleportation circle in Honoria was involved in the blast. So that needs to be fixed before fast travel can happen. And then Wilbur is able to read Guar's carving because it's written in Giant, and it sadly says the grove will be red with the blood of your brothers. And then after that, things happen very quickly. Guar informs Broomhilda. Wilbur reaches out to Winona. And then Broomhilda decides she's coming for us, so she gives us 10 minutes to get our shit together. Eldrin goes to the temple to cast a word of recall so that if need be, she can get everyone back here in a pinch. Norris informs Eldrin what is happening, and then Eldrin realizes someone may need to stay behind, so there are sad goodbyes between Eldrin and Norris, and also between Milo and Duchess. And they are able to... Broomhilda gets there, and then they're able to teleport out and make it to the grove in time, and Winona is wearing clothing. Specifically a dress.
specifically address of Wilbur's purchase from a time long ago.
I died when I watched that back.
All right. Okay.
Mike.
Let's.
Jamie.
I'm just laughing at the reaction.
What is Broomhilda wearing? I just
Same
I just
black
asked
clothes
that-
she's always wearing.
Guar just asked
and
that
with-
to himself.
Yeah. And with that, okay. And with that, we are going to jump straight in. So, Wilbur and Winona, you, Winona kind of throws her arms around you. And you can you can hear like sobbing. The rest of the party can hear like sobbing as we'll actually say this. Let's give everybody a perception check. So a group perception check on this.
Nat 20.
Okay, cool.
Starting strong.
dirty 20.
Also dirty 20.
Nice. Okay. What are you guys, 11th level or what?
Clean 20. So if it's for 25 total.
16.
Milo, what'd you get? 16. Okay, cool. So yeah, so you all rolled pretty high. So I'll just kind of say in general, I'll try to find something other than that 20. With
It smells like
the
popcorn.
yeah,
And
it
only
smells
you
like popcorn
know.
here. You see a scene that looks very much like what's behind me. You see there is just a bunch of rolling hills of these this like deep green kind of almost grassland prairie like area. You guys are set a little bit more in like almost like this sort of like valley type of setting. You see all around there like these small sort of like bumps, like kind of like mini hills in the ground that look to be I'll say Guar, with a nat 20, you surmise that they are not natural made. It looks like they're I'll say you kind of notice like somewhat of an outline around an area where there would be a door. You surmise that this is housing. So it's very like Hobbit hole-ish, but everything is designed to be able to, if the door is shut, it just looks like a small hill. So you see that there are, from your area where you're at right now, there's probably about maybe 20 to 30 of these houses around. You all see about 100 feet or 100 feet or so away, this very large, I would say probably close to about 400 to 500 feet tall tree. Extremely tall, looking very healthy. You see that there is this tree is so tall. There's actually like there's several different sort of sets of like almost canopies. Like there's a multiple layer of different sort of like branches that are growing out and catching from different areas, from like catching the sun from different sort of points. You all hear the sound of rushing water from a far off creek, or from a creek that's relatively pretty close, probably maybe no further than 300 feet away. There are other trees around. You see there's some small bushes, shrubberies, things like that. There's a garden that is off to kind of like off center to the side of the tree that you see is like it's pretty large. It's about I'd say it's about 50 feet long, so about like 20 by 50 feet. With a lot of vegetation that is probably about as tall as you, Guar. Let's see. Yeah, so you guys all rolled really high. So I'll say you see in the distance there's some sort of like uh, Guar. You would notice even without the nat 20. Basically, looks like there's some sort of archery range far off. Where you see like there's 10 different targets that are set up. You notice that there's something that is like rudimentally like drawn on the targets that's hard to see from your vantage point right now, even with a nat 20. And let's see. Wilbur, am I missing anything else?
The little training course.
Oh yes. You also see there is also kind of in the center near the tree. You see there is what is looks to be mostly made of like sticks and some stone and things like that. But essentially, what is like a huge, about 15 feet tall, like dome-ish sort of structure. That I think at first looks like this possibility that like it's like the middle of a house being constructed. But you notice there are some figures that seem to be kind of like moving up and down it. And I'll say, at least Guar, you notice that structurally that would not be built well, even in its certain state for a house. And I think you recognize that this is like some sort of like athletics sort of course thing. For everyone as the players, it is essentially like an obstacle course.
Adorable.
Yes.
This is very encouraging to Guar, because Guar, I think, immediately would be looking around to see like what kind of structures do they have, what could we be using, what kind of like how could we use the landscape to our advantage. He's immediately thinking like military tactic stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm encouraged by the archery range. I'm encouraged by they're clearly trying to be physically fit. And so he's probably just like running down the drop down menu of everything he knows about Wilbur, and is like, is this how all the wombats are? And maybe he's kind of getting to the point where he's like, oh, maybe. So
cool. Yeah, I think from a military point of view, you will notice that like being in the like valley like area that you are is not a tactical advantage whatsoever. But yeah, looking at everything else, you're like, okay, cool, that we might have a shot. Then you start to see heads pop out from all directions, as you see what would be the equivalent of probably about 50 wombats start to make their way towards you. Some of them running, the other one, a couple of them actually like have like what looks to be like stones in their hands. Varying degrees of like wariness to just open welcoming. You assume kind of dependent upon whether like from their vantage point whether or not they can see Wilbur. But yeah, I'll say Guar with your military background and that nat 20. As you see them start to clamber out, you feel the athleticism. You feel like you might have been too hopeful. You notice that though some of them are moving very fast, Wilbur may be, and again, Wilbur, when you first met Wilbur was very like plump, like very like had the like tummy and the
sure,
the body of a full-fledged wombat. Wilbur has slimmed down greatly in the span of time of you guys being together, to the point that looking at Wilbur, looking at the rest of this crew, these are not warriors. But as you're all noticing this, as you're all noticing this, you see, a crowd of these wombats come around you, probably terrifying for most of you, especially Saren. And you start to hear just chatter of various various noises, many of them speaking in a tongue that you're not familiar with. Wilbur, all you're hearing is in various voices. Wilbur's home. Wilbur's home. Like all these like different sort of like crowd
that,
sort of
that
things.
deep one.
Yeah. There's one deep one somewhere in there. And Wilbur, you are being swarmed to the point that the rest of you actually feel feel like you have become physically pushed out of the way. And Wilbur, you are straight up like picked up and like bounced around on like a trampoline of wombat hands that are pushing you up and down. Yeah. Wilbur, what do you say to your family?
Well, while being bounced up and down on a sea of wombats, I feel like Wilbur would be like relieved, giggling, and like just like in the midst of like every throw up in the air, like, you guys have no idea how happy I am to see you. Can you put me down? I have friends. I want to introduce you.
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh, I'm not getting down out of this thing, am I? Persuasion?
Yep.
2.
Oh my
2.
god.
Fantastic. You see Wilbur getting carted off by this crowd. You assume that like a couple of them are hearing you, but you think the roar of the chattering noise has drowned out your voice as you feel yourself being pulled towards the pond.
When Eldrin sees that and how happy Wilbur looks because his persuasion check sucked, like she's gonna walk over to like a tree or something and start to give Wilbur his space with his family. But also, I imagine that Enorian armor, especially my mother's armor, has like some sort of mechanism. Maybe she's like pulling some like string or something that gets all the water to come out, and then some sort of substance comes out with it to coat it so that it doesn't rust on land. So she's doing that because she doesn't want to be killed by her mom.
Cool.
You know, by ruining this.
Yeah, awesome. You pull this like kelpish like rope, and you feel this like whoosh, like squeegee just sort of like come out as you move off to the side. Wilbur, you fully get thrown in the pond. The rest of you are kind of like I assume some of you are watching this scene. I know Elgin kind of moved away. What are the rest of you doing?
Milo's joining in.
Okay.
I mean, obviously on the fringe, but he's like super stoked to see Wilbur like happy and like get celebrated. He's probably gonna start trying to start a Wilbur chant.
Okay. Cool. Roll me a persuasion check or performance, either one.
They don't make a difference. 7.
7, cool. You see a lot of them are like full happy wombat faces, full smiling, and all of like a good amount of those faces turn and look towards you, and their face like kind of falls in a state of confusion. And they just turn around and they all just kind of jump in with Wilbur. I will say, Milo, in this moment, as you're watching literally like 50 wombats all of a sudden just jump into this entire it is a pond, but it is a very large pond, and you can see in the distance about I don't know what the difference is between a pond and a lake, so it may be a lake. I'll look that up later, but it's in the far distance, about maybe a 300 feet off. It's between 300 and 400 feet off. You see there is a very tall waterfall that kind of sits over a cliffside that is sending this water in from this area here. But yeah, looking down below, they're very far from that, and you see them just kind of like splashing each other, and there is just there's screaming, there's crying, there's laughing. It's a very beautiful moment. Saren, what is Saren doing?
I think Saren's following closely behind Milo, but she's just kind of looking up at the trees and just relishing in the fact that she's finally back in like her form of nature. that she's used to. And
Uh,
Gerard's probably like trying to look around for any tiny squirrels or butterflies he can chase after.
Cool. Yeah, I think in this moment you see a squirrel like kind of like dart out from a bush and just start to take off across the like plains. Gerard kind of gives a slight glance up at you.
And she's just gonna like pet his little head and just tell him to go.
Cool. You see him take off as quick as he possibly can. So with the dirty 20, Saren, looking at all the trees, it is very beautiful, and I think in most ways does feel very like relaxing, natural habitat, like back to the. You take a look at this tree in the middle. This tree is inordinately big. I would say that's probably the only thing that like seems different about the like woods that you've grown up in. You also notice that there looks to be like from the distance of you looking up, you actually can see there's almost like specks of red in the underneath the canopy that you assume is like some sort of fruit. So you can see actually it's like kind of even along the ground. Yeah. What is Guar doing?
I think Guar's probably torn, really, because he's like trying to figure out, because he's burdened with this knowledge that like something bad's happening soon, but he also doesn't want to interrupt this because this might be the last time they feel like this for a while. And I also feel like Guar would also be recognizing that Wilbur hasn't had this in a very long time. And I think he'd want Wilbur to have this. Because Guar also cares a lot about morale. And so, he'd want spirits to be high so that whenever we break the news to them that we've got to, like, be ready for this stuff. Maybe that can help, support them.
Cool. Roll me a stealth check if you don't mind.
Well, I have to roll with disadvantage. And that is a roll.
I'll say not for this. Not for this. This is
okay.
This is something different.
Okay, then I'll re-roll. Okay, that is a 15.
15. Your natural 20. You're taking everything in a like very razor sharp military sort of thing, like getting that. As you see, like the party kind of like separate out a little bit. You can't help but look at Broomhilda, and you see. What was your stealth roll again? I already forgot.
15.
15. With a 15, you manage to see a full something you haven't seen from Broomhilda, I think, ever. A full-fledged smile watching this scene. She does not notice that you're seeing her.
Okay.
Is Riley here?
Riley's not.
Okay.
Or would just kind of smile to himself and keep taking it in. Cool. But also, what are the advantage points? What can we use this tree for anything?
Cool. Yeah. Awesome. You see Broomhilda like break off and go. Well, we definitely can't use that tree. There's some places around, and just kind of like trails off until you guys start to have like a discussion on like possible tactical sort of things.
Sure.
Yeah, I think you guys kind of like walk off into your own direction. So at this point, Saren, I imagine you like kind of like follow maybe like some ways behind Gerard, like allowing Gerard to have fun. You guys just kind of spread out and sort of enjoy this moment in the grove. Wilbur, your Uh, uh, one second. Okay. Well, there's a certain point where you start inhaling so much water from laughing and getting splashed in the face that you like it goes from like pure happiness to like legitimate choking for a second. Um, and you're like waving like no, and you like push yourself onto the shoreline, just start to kind of like cough up some of the water. Um, as you see your I assume you're kind of just like laying flat on your back on the bank, and you see a familiar face look down at you upside down as you see Walter kind of smiling down at you.
Wilbur, come on,
And
son. Come on. Let me shake. I'll shake you off.
And Walter, who is the in some ways the charismatic and doting father, um, uh, literally goes to pick you up, Wilbur, and you could tell is struggling really hard to. There's a level I think with Walter that he may still consider you a child in many ways. So he's like trying to kind of like pick you up, and you kind of like help him get there, and he starts kind of like brushing you off with his paws, and then gives you a big hug.
you still
For
got it, old man. You're still stronger than I am.
Well, it's important. It's important to work out. I don't know, in your travels of where you've been, and just like the obstacle, the course that we have there. I know it like it's the back of my hand, and oh man, oh it is good to see you. Uh, uh,
for the camera's sake, we see Walter is a uh, Walter looks very much like Wilbur, um, uh, except he is wearing these dark brown sort of cut off pants. You can see like they like are very like capri like, I think, from where they cut off, but it's hard to tell because knees are hard to see on a wombat, I think. Um, uh, you see there's a like a piece of twine that is connected to a necklace that you see some sort of like some sort of it's hard to tell, like a claw or a tooth from that vantage point. And, yeah, shakes you off.
oh, did you see your mother?
And then looks out and sees that your mother is watching from beyond the other side of the bank, and starts to kind of make her way over. Um, uh, yeah, Wilbur, what do you say to your father?
There were points where I didn't think I'd ever see you again, and it's just really good to see you, and I'm a little speechless.
Yeah, well, you've been gone a long time. What has it been? 2 years, 3 years?
It sure feels like that.
He says dangerous out there, right? A lot of tabaxi. Must be a ton of them.
Yeah, there's a lot worse out there. We need to talk about some stuff.
Okay, well, I'll get that. We got plenty of time. Well, let me show you what I did to the course here to try to just help out to push, and starts to kind of push you towards the course. Where you see there is some makeshift uh, um, pieces that he's had set up to kind of like make the course seem more difficult. You I think in some ways you actually see like your father's trailing a little bit ahead of you, and you see just like this is a weird point, but I think this is important in a wombat-esque sort of feeling. You see you're trailing a little bit behind your father, and you see your father just lets out
huge trails of poops as he goes, and there's like a weird comfort to that, I think, of like
I'm around
recognizing
my
how
people and my people's caca. I love it.
yes. Yeah, and you connect to that. Is there anything you want to say to your father besides, obviously we need to like have that serious discussion, but is there anything that we're missing on that?
No.
Cool. You as you're talking with your father, you okay, cool. You see an arrow fly past you and dig into the ladder, the ladder-esque sort of like tree sort of thing. It's this climbing mechanism, and like goes right into it. As you turn and look, and you see your baby sister Wilma has a bow cocked in your direction, about maybe like 10 feet away from you.
Still not a great shot. You missed me.
Oh, if I wanted to hit you, I'd hit you.
As you see Wilma just kind of make her way up to you, doesn't give you a hug, just kind of stands there looking at you. Wilma is a little bit shorter than you. You can see that she's wearing a assortment of like ripped pants from these like grass and fur. Also wearing a dark green sort of shirt that is mostly just made out of like long leaves that kind of hang down. I think Wilma goes up to you and just like goes to like shake your hand.
Wilbur will hug her.
That. Oh God, you smell. Ah.
Yeah, so do you. Boy, I've missed your stink.
You don't smell like the woods. You smell like something gross.
Well, I was just in the pond.
No, that's not it.
But before that, I was underwater for a long time. It might be that.
Yeah, whatever it is, it's gross.
You see her kind of like walk through you, grab her arrow, and then you also see you see her grab her arrow and then like put it like into like the side of her shirt, and you recognize at this point that is her only arrow, and she kind of like goes off like just a little distance away, enough that she can hear what's going on, and she's just like practicing her like bow pull.
What happened to all your other arrows?
What? If you know what you're aiming for, you only need one. I never miss.
Okay. We'll see about that.
The rest of you see there is another, I'll say actually specifically Saren. You see there is a group of wombats coming from the I'll say from the west side, excuse me, so from the actual compass, we'll say from the south side of the camp. You see about like 5 or 6 wombats carrying like some sort of like bundle of something. They each kind of have them like kind of slunk over their shoulders. Wilbur, you see this group from afar. You know them as like the gatherers that just are collecting random things from the woods. They're pretty far off, though.
Have they found anything good lately? Oh, sorry. Wilbur would be saying that to his father.
Okay.
Oh, we oh, you know what? We found another berry bush about a couple hours south. So they're probably picking at that. Once that's done, we'll obviously kind of uproot it and try to bring it into the garden. So, yeah, no, nothing like that. No, nothing like this. And points to the thing that you've heard so many freaking stories about. The little crooked looking tooth, as your father calls it.
Yep. That sure is something. Where's Mom?
Oh, she's she's over there. She's been spending a lot of time lately, looking up at the sky and stuff.
I need to go talk to her.
Okay.
Sorry.
Hey,
I'll
listen,
be back.
no, it's okay. Listen, I'm gonna go talk to the crew that came in. How many? Is there anything I need to know about your friends as far as they eat food, right?
Yes, they eat food. They're not accustomed to our diet.
But how much leaves should we have as the appetizer? Is there? You're hesitating. Okay, we'll get a lot.
A lot. Yeah, a lot.
Okay. That's good to see. Ruffles the top of your head. Reaches up to ruffle the top of your head as you are roughly the same size. It's good to see you. Okay, all right. We'll see you for dinner. And goes and kind of waddles off to catch up to the other group there. Saren, you hear a message come to you.
Hi. Just want to make sure that you're making it safe. I had to borrow this from one of the guards, but didn't want to seem, too anything. I just want to make sure you made it okay. Love you. I say Saren or Eldrin. I'm sorry, I meant Eldrin.
You said Saren. Very confused for a second.
I was like,
well, listen, you guys have been with me for 2 years. Gotta imagine at some point you recognize who I'm talking about.
I just love the idea that you dialed the wrong number.
It made sense until the love you part, because I was like, he did seem a little upset with Eldrin, so maybe, Also, he has his own bracelet.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought he gave that to you for something, but yeah, you're right.
No, Anrin gave me hers.
Cool.
You've just been giving me bracelets. I have so many now, Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Eldrin was just about to send him a message. Says, you beat me to it. Yes, we are here safe. We got here in time. Everything's fine. I love you too. I will see you soon.
Okay.
She'll also, we don't have to role play, but she's also going to send a message to her dad, to saying, I know this looks bad that we took Guar out of the castle before his hearing, but I promise you he will be back promptly after we deal with what's going on here.
Okay.
So that your prisoner has escaped, but he'll come back.
I mean, Yeah.
Your father responds with
I also
just
added
please.
talk to Norris if you have questions. But go on, sorry.
Okay, cool. He just responds with please stay safe. That's all.
Oh.
Okay.
Eldrin, you see a familiar figure walking towards you that I think your immediate response is to think Wilbur, but you notice as she gets closer, you see the dress and the kind of almost slightly kind of crooked back as you see Winona kind of comes up to you.
Well, I don't know how much you had to do with it, but thank you for bringing him back.
It wasn't me. It was Broomhilda, but we're happy to be here.
Well, don't worry. It'll be I don't know how much fun it'll be based on the city, but it's very peaceful here. If you need to kind of recharge, as I heard someone in the city say that, but
Well, it's good to see you again, Winona. I know Wilbur sent you a message before coming here. There's some things we need to discuss.
Yeah. Kind of turns back. Also, so just a reminder too, so Winona is very hard of seeing, but is having no problem tracking you guys as you are a very familiar scent. So you kind of get the feeling based on seeing her eyesight now. Things are she's tracking you based on your scent.
Okay.
And you see Wilbur is kind of comes up behind her.
Oh, hey, speak of the devil. I heard that at the city too.
Wilbur will give her a hug again and say, I have missed you so much.
Of course, I've missed you too. Remember, I tried my darndest to have you come back with me.
How is that? How's your dress fitting you? Is it good?
You know what? I went swimming in it and it seemed fine. So, yeah, it's pretty good. It's I if it's a warm day out, I kind of take it off every once in a while. I hope it's okay.
Yeah, of course. You're staying away from the waterfall, right?
Yeah, of course. I'm the one that. I mean, yeah, of course. Yes. Honey, I can feel just because I'm losing my eyesight, I can feel the weight of the water. I wouldn't be caught dead anywhere near that waterfall, or I'd be dead.
Yeah, that's I just
Is
after
Guar
everything that's
nearby?
happened, I just
And does he hear this?
I think you guys kind of can spread out, but Guar, you can start to make your way back.
I just really hope that Guar heard this because I'd go up to Winona and say, "Glad to hear you've stuck to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to," and then I'd walk back to Brumhilda.
Okay. You just misty step over for that spot, then just go back. Yeah. Cool.
Speaking of
if you do see Eldrin, Winona, and Wilbur are together, and you're kind of underneath the shade of this small tree. So any of you that see that can try to make your way over to that group if you think you would.
Eldrin does say, speaking of death, we had to leave in a hurry. Wilbur, does your do you call them a clan? Your family? Is everyone here related to you? Whatever they are. Do you guys have some gemstones or anything that can be used if someone dies and we need to bring them back?
Yeah, no, we consider ourselves all family.
Oh, that's okay. That's not the important question. The other part.
Okay. I did see you talk about the shiny things that you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like it's on
Specifically
your.
diamonds.
It's there, and like it's like starts to like touch your your armor and everything. Like you see the small pieces of like. Okay, yeah.
When she does it, I say, "This is kind of sea glass. This isn't. It's shiny, but yeah, like
oh,
that."
okay. It's like that. Okay. Yeah. No, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think we have. Wilbur, have you seen? Ask Wilbur, who hasn't been there in 3 months.
Maybe that's
No,
the conversation I should have with Broomhilda.
I don't know. I guess you could check with the gatherers to see if they've found anything interesting. But Mom, that's have you seen or had any visions of any concern recently?
No. You know, I got your friend over there, Broomhilda, brought me back. There was a whole like hubbub. A lot of people like there was a lot of hands on me, and it was weird. And but no, Broomhilda brought me back, and since then, no, it's like I never left. As you look around, you see the same. Like it is like you never left.
I personally apologize that happened at my wedding. If it was up to me, that wouldn't have been how it ended.
You know, to be honest with you, I was kind of confused. This is, I've never been to a wedding before. I wasn't sure if that was like part of the.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
There should have been a party afterwards with food and dancing and revelry and kind of put a damper, and I apologize.
Food and dancing, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Looks back to an area where you see. I apologize. There was you see there is a very like long. There's no other way to put this. It's a very extremely long picnic table of several pieces of wood that have like been like kind of like tied together, and you see her just kind of like glance in that direction for effect, as you obviously know she probably can't see that far, but interesting. Gives Wilbur a little wink.
You're sure you haven't had any visions at all of anything happening?
Honey, to be honest with you, I've had enough visions to last me a lifetime. But no, I haven't seen anything. Is there something that we should be worried about? I was kind of confused on your.
There's danger coming.
Okay.
To the grove.
All right. Well, probably good to get your father involved in talking about this. Where is he?
Is there somewhere where you can go? I can grab the rest of our group and we can all sit and discuss.
Yeah, we could go into one of our homes here. We could go to Wilbur. Actually, your place has probably been untouched, so
yeah, we can go there.
Okay. I say, can you point it out to me, and I'll grab everyone else.
Oh yeah,
Me too.
it looks kind of like a hill, sort of thing. As you look around, you see there's nothing but that.
Mhm.
I'll Wilbur will point it out to you. And you guys start to make your way to that area. Guar. As you and Broomhilda are discussing things, and actually everyone kind of hears this, you will say that we'll kind of role play this moment. So Broomhilda's like, so yeah, there's some trees off in the distance here. We could probably set up a couple of lookout points. I don't know if we know any idea of where they're coming from. And you hear this this sound of like a deep sort of cracking, and you feel you feel the ground beneath you kind of start to shake a little bit. You look over Broomhilda. Broomhilda seems totally nonplussed by this. Yeah, there's probably. I mean, maybe we could dig trenches. These wombats are pretty good at digging.
Well, they're really good at digging. Yeah.
And you hear, you
Some
see
sharp sticks
behind her, one of the trees falls over as something is approaching.
What is that?
Oh, it's my house. Sorry, excuse me. As you see coming through the thicket is the giant chicken leg Baba Yaga hut that comes through, plants themselves down. You see that all of the wombats' ears are perked up. They all kind of look over, and once everybody sees this, and you see from all the wombats, they kind of they see what's going on. And most of them seem to kind of go back to what they're doing. So they must have seen this probably before.
I turn to Wilbur and say, maybe we should just meet in her house.
I don't want to impose on her. We'll just go to my house. It's fine.
Kind of want to see where
You
Wilbur
have
lives
seen my
anyway.
house.
Yeah.
We'll say so Saren and Milo, you guys are in totally different sort of areas. This field is giant, by the way, so you're very far within outside of earshot of each other, but you all hear the cracking, and you see the hut, and then you see Broomhilda kind of walking towards it, Guar probably walking in tow, and I think you all kind of catch where each other are at, but you're all probably maybe at least 100 feet or so off from each other. What is Milo doing?
Once the hubbub and all the shouting and glee quieted down, bless you.
Thank you.
Milo's probably gonna lay out his bedroll on the bank of the lake pond and just kind of sit and hang out until until instructed to be anywhere.
You got it. Saren, what are you doing?
I feel like Saren found a rock to kind of sit down and lean against, and is just watching Gerard run around like crazy in the field. And when she hears Broomhilda's house coming through the forest, she's gonna look up and I'm assuming see Eldrin and Wilbur and Winona, and she'll get up and kind of corral Gerard and start walking towards them.
Cool. I say as soon as you see the hut, you hear a voice behind you. It just goes, "Oh, that is some chicken." As you turn and look, you see again, I think this is going to happen several times where you guys assume that you're talking to Wilbur. I think Saren, with your perception, you see this is a much chunkier Wilbur.
probably a little shorter. Um, uh, he what makes him look even chunkier is that he has the same sort of like grassy sort of shirt, but where it looks baggy on everybody else, it looks like extremely tight on him. As you can see, the fat of his arms and everything are kind of like almost busting through it. Um, uh, uh, yeah, and you see just like kind of like almost like just pitch black eyes just looking at you, and it's like kind of you see like an ear that kind of twitches every once in a while.
That's a weird looking chicken. I don't know if you heard me the first time.
I was gonna say, what did you say? She would be like, yeah, we thought so too at first. It's also a house though. Kind of crazy. Not sure why it has legs.
It's a
But
it's a chicken at a house.
mm-hmm. Kind of.
Wow. What are you doing here?
Oh, I'm with Wilbur.
Wilbur's here?
You didn't see him yet? Yeah, he's over there.
No, I just got in from the forest. Where is he?
Does he say that after she just pointed him out?
Yes, absolutely.
Over there. What'd you guys find in the forest? I saw you coming in.
Just berries. Excuse me. And you see this very large wombat just waddling as hard as he possibly can. Wilbur, as you were trying to make it to your house, I'll say in your extended perception, you see your best friend Wally moving as fast as he possibly can towards you.
Excuse me?
Yeah. Your
I was
old
waiting
best
for
friend
that.
Wally. Will say.
I was waiting for that. Oh
Me
my
too.
God.
I want to make a point that Miranda made this thing for me, and it says Wally, Wilbur's best friend.
It's fine. You know what? Wilbur and Eldrin, I know the Mongoose Crew have only been traveling together for like 3 months, but Wilbur and Eldrin have been together a little bit longer. You know, Wally was out of the picture. He found someone better.
Yeah, it was like 3 months. It was like 3 months and 1 week.
Scandal.
Yeah, you see Wally running towards you. You see Wally stop about halfway through and just like kind of put a couple hands on his knees. And it just continue like walks now slowly as if he like hurt himself. Like
I'm not running to you. You gotta get it together, Wally.
Can you? Yeah, you babe.
Come on,
Okay.
you can do it. Come on.
Oh,
Eldrin, is this another one of your brothers?
No, this is Wally.
you see Wally just fall down halfway, like it's about maybe 50 feet from you, just falls down and just starts going on all fours, but not like a wombat sort of movement, just like a crawl.
I'm coming. Just stay where you are. I'm coming.
Wilbur would run out to him and stand him up and put one of his little arms around his shoulder and like walk him back to our group. I would expect nothing less from a reunion with you, Wally.
This is really hurting my welcome. Just I'm too exhausted to hug you. Put me down.
You put Wally
I feel like
down
at
right
this
next
point
to
we
your
would
ear.
have. Yeah, I feel like at this point we would have reached the group and I would just be like, okay, and just let him fall flat on his face on the ground.
Yeah, you just see him just straight down.
Oh, I'm okay.
This is Wally.
Hello,
see him
Wally.
just-
Wally and I have been best friends my whole childhood.
You see Wally just roll onto his
Wally.
back and just give a wave.
It's nice to meet you, Wally.
Wally,
It is-
yeah.
this is Eldrin. Eldrin has become one of my best friends. So now I have two best friends.
One of, yes.
Guar goes to shake Wally's hand. He's going, Wally, this is such a pleasure to meet Wilbur's best friend. And looks over
Are
at
you-
Eldrin like,
I would say I've heard so much about you, but I haven't, so.
Are
nice to
you
meet
so this is an important point, Guar. Are you with the group?
I thought we were all kind of nearby each other at this point.
No, you guys are still pretty far off from each other. So that's what I'm saying. So if you're making your way towards a group, I need to know that. You guys
'Cause
are.
I thought Brumhilda and I were talking and making our way back toward the group. Was I wrong? If I'm wrong, it's fine. I just thought we were.
Yeah, I don't think yeah. From last time I knew, Brumhilda was actually making her way to the hut, to her house.
Oh no, you're totally right. Never mind.
Yeah.
Way to ruin my fun messing with Eldrin, though.
I mean, you'll have time. You'll get introductions.
Oh, I'm sure.
Um,
Okay,
Saren,
retcon.
Saren is following like relatively close behind Wally.
cool. Yeah, you say this
Did
is
you hear all the
Eldrin's-
things that I said, though?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Weldred. Nice to meet you, Weldred.
No, Eldrin. Eldrin.
With an E.
Yeah, I don't. Right. Weldred.
Eldrin.
I don't understand.
Sorry, he's not trying to be rude. We just have a really hard time with names that don't start with W.
No. No worries.
You see, Wally kind of sits himself up. I feel like Wally, in Eldrin's eyes, Wally is not. Wally is by far the least athletic-looking wombat you've seen out of any of them. So I think even that, along with all the stuff that was just said, makes him look probably not like doesn't give him a good picture in Eldrin's mind at all. As you see him like sit straight up, and you see like he's got the belly that's just kind of like hanging over.
Okay. All right. I'm up. Where we go? We going in your place?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
are.
We're gonna.
Oh, okay.
We are okay. We are all right. He opens the door first and just like goes to like he just kind of crawls in. So yeah, Wilbur's home from the outside is essentially kind of like a yurt, except that it is completely covered in grass, just like I kind of mentioned before. And the idea that when it's shut, it looks just like a hill to the average or possibly more below average eyesight.
Okay.
Guar, you are you're walking with Brumhilda towards her hut. You see a vine kind of come down out of nowhere as a red-headed figure kind of just doesn't climb down, just gets propelled down by the vine.
It's like glides down. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. As you see Riley kind of come walking towards you. Okay, good. You found them.
Hey,
Hi,
Riley.
Guar.
How are you? That was really cool what you just did.
Oh, yeah. I guess it is.
Yeah.
You see Brumhilda kind of just give a nod, just like push past her as she goes up into the hut.
Well, I mean, I know what it's like to, just get used to your own greatness. It's, it happens. But yeah, it's good to see you. We're gonna make some battle plans. You can come if you want.
Okay, that sounds great. Is it just us three?
I mean, so far we just got here first. I mean, you can do whatever you want. I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you can hang out or not or whatever, it's fine.
Do we see Milo and Saren coming towards Wilbur's house and
You
not
see
Guar?
Saren. You guys don't see Milo. Milo's not only is Milo far off. Milo has now made himself flat, so even
Okay.
harder to see.
Milo's
the
kind of
chicken
having
house?
a picnic.
Yeah,
Nice.
I love it.
Do
What's
we see
that?
Broomhilda's house? Oh yeah, we did.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So if I see Guar and Broomhilda going up to the house, I'm gonna use one of my sendings and say to Guar, "What are you doing? We need to plan. Come back here."
Responds, no one likes a cock block. I'm just kidding. So I would say, like, oh, I thought we were making plans over here. Where are you making
Who told
plans?
you that? Oh, I don't say that because I can't say that.
I'm with Broomhilda. Smiley face emoji.
Right. Riley, you see the vine that Riley kind of came up, has maneuvered back towards hers. I can bring you up if you want. This is to the hut, by the way.
That would be really wow. Yeah, sure. That sounds great.
Okay, just hold on to me.
Right, if you insist.
You just see Guar go in a complete opposite direction than you, Eldrin.
I pass my bracelet to Wilbur and I say, "I can't handle him right now. Can you just give him directions to your hut?"
Guar, you need to come to the little hut that has a single pink flower directly outside the door.
Broomhilda.
My response is just right now.
I get to respond. I don't know how this works.
You have to do another one.
You have 3 sendings though. I see the look on your face. I said he did it again, didn't he? He gave you no context and he's going to make you waste another one of the charges on this bracelet. Correct?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Eldrin's in a bad mood. You're making it worse. I love it.
I love it. In meantime, meanwhile, Milo. So you say you're kind of like making a little picnic for yourself. Tell me what's going on.
Yeah. So Milo is. Milo's always got snacks. So he is. Yeah, he's got his bedroll laid out, and he is kind of playing by the bank. Like he's just assuming this is like welcome party. We're hanging out, and nobody's told him anything, so he's chilling by the lake. And he's gonna, as he's eating, he's gonna take a moment to talk to Oren.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Go for it. We'll play that.
Hey, Oren. I'm out of the water. And not near Saren. Is this okay? Is this far enough away from her?
You see, you hear Oren. I think from your vantage point of being like on the cliffside and just kind of like staring out into like the distance of the waterfall and everything. You hear Oren just go, yeah, this is fine. This is nice.
Yeah, it's a lot greener, but it feels weirdly like home.
Yeah. I'm down here, by the way. And you like look down, you see the reflection in the water down below on this. It's just easier this way.
That makes sense. Sure, that makes sense. So, I mean, have you figured anything out? What is your, I guess now new relationship or like, new relation to Saren? That you can tell me, I guess.
I all I can say is that what I currently am and what she currently is do not mesh well. I respect her as a person. I assume that there's a reason why this has happened. I just it is Saren is representing a boat that I should have gotten on a long time ago and chose not to. So it's hard to see that boat.
I see. Well, I will make sure to implore that she doesn't. I guess her role now is as Grim Reaper. If that story, if you're familiar with that story at all, collecting souls. I guess I will do everything in my power to assure that there's one soul she doesn't.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I don't expect her to. It's just knowing that she has the power to is
sure. Who likes walking around with somebody who has a sword at their throat?
Right. You got it. But hey.
Oh, speaking of swords, in other news, I think I won the ocean, and I show him my coral sword.
Okay. Wow. That is an interesting piece. I feel like I've seen it before. You like kind of like pointed out over the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where, but it looks oddly familiar.
Yeah, and it feels it's yeah, it feels nice, and Milo's gonna like swipe across with ease and with no skill with the blade whatsoever, but
okay.
But like swipe across, and yeah, it feels like there's like I'm not swinging anything. It's really nice.
Okay. I'm gonna get out of the water for this. You see the figure actually like kind of like Spider-Man's like up like to and starts to like kind of guide you like around like stances to be able to like do with like in a like Kensei sort of style of motion. As you just like you just like showed how much you don't know in front of your teacher who feels like they may have failed you. Like, yeah.
We hit a lot on fists, hit a lot on quarterstaffs, didn't do much on blades.
Yes, yeah, I love it. So he's starting to show you that, and after about, I think maybe like 5 minutes or so, and okay, duck. And you duck, thinking it's like part of the form, and you hear this. Then you hear a sound. Oh, that was my only one! And you hear this wombat go and run up behind you and fully belly flop into the water to go and save her arrow. Oren kind of looks at. Yeah, Oren kind of just looks at you and goes, "All right, that's enough for today." And disappears.
Who the hell are you? And why are you shooting at me?
She's gonna try to. Okay, cool. She gets it. She grabs the arrow and she kind of like has it in her like mouth.
Hold on.
Just, kind of doggy paddles to the.
What?
Who the hell are you? And why are you shooting at me?
I'm Wilbur. I'm your buddy.
Milo's gonna bonk her on the head with his quarterstaff. No,
Ow!
I know Wilbur, and he's a better shot than you.
Yeah, I mean that's what she. I mean, no, I will. Okay, yeah, I. Sorry, I meant to aim lower. Like not like low. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, who are you?
But I mean, you did duck out of the way, so like no
Yeah,
harm,
I'm a
no
monk.
foul.
I'm a monk. We're good at that.
I have no
You didn't
idea
know I was
what
a
you
monk.
just said. I have no idea what you just said.
Yeah, exactly. Stop shooting at people.
Okay.
Who are you?
I am Wilbur's smarter, stronger, better sister, Wilba.
Little younger sister?
In age, yeah.
And Milo's gonna mutter under his breath, "These fucking little sisters."
What's your name?
I am Milo Underdale. I came here with Wilbur.
Milo.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. What are you doing here?
Well, I was having a picnic, and then I was learning. I was practicing some sword moves, and then I don't know. I was brought here. I guess there's gonna be I guess we're gonna have a meeting. I don't know. They're gonna. I assume they're gonna find me when they need me.
Oh, they all went into Wilbur's house over there.
Which one?
The hill one right there, the one that's Wilbur's house.
Helpful. Here, one second.
Okay, come on.
Yeah, we'll pause that as Wilma starts to kind of bring you over to that spot there. I think cut to 10 minutes later of Broomhilda like kind of like going through her books and like looking through, and Riley just kind of like sitting. Riley looks comfortable no matter where she is, so she's like kind of like sitting back on a chair, just kind of like staring out the window, just like this.
Does Broomhilda happen to have a dead body in there? She said that she was keeping Venris safe.
Broomhilda does not. Like 10 minutes of either awkward conversation with Riley or silence. Eventually Broomhilda like kind of like shuts the book and goes, "Okay, are they coming? What are they doing? I understand welcome parties, but this is insane. We have things to do." Guar, you're in this room. And you're muted.
Guard's very distracted.
Yeah. You're just staring at Riley, who is staring out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guar.
What? What? Yeah. Yes. Was ready when you are.
Where is everybody?
Oh, they're at the house with the pink flower over there.
Why are they not here?
I don't know. They just decided to meet over there. I don't know. I followed you.
This is the safest place to be. Why would they be anywhere else in the
I
earth?
know. You don't have to tell me that. I know this. I know your chicken leg house is very safe. I just wanted to make sure that you two were okay.
Hey. Easy. As she like kind of like touches the wall. Easy.
You're talking to me or the house?
She has feelings.
Oh, I'm sorry. And I touch the wall too.
Don't touch. How long have you known that they're not going to be coming up here? We've been sitting here for 10 minutes.
About 5 seconds.
roll me a deception check.
50 seconds.
It's been 10 minutes.
That's it. Wait, hold on. Deception?
Yeah.
I think it's okay. Yeah, it's 16.
Not even close. Rolled a natural 17. She goes, oh, geez. All right. I'm going down there. You and Riley can hang up here for all I care. And you see.
And I want to make sure we can protect these wombats, Riley. It's so good to see you. You can come too. I'm not stopping you. Do whatever you want. Live your life. I can't tell you what to do. But we're going to go over here.
Broomhilda's already gone. Just bam.
Wait for me!
Cool. You see, as you climb down the ladder forcefully, like just rushing to kind of like come over, you see Riley is just taking your time. Just coming back up, coming down after you. Cool. So inside the yurt, Wilbur, what's your house look like?
It is not impressive. Like, I feel like Wilbur was like, you haven't seen my house. And it's just not impressive at all. There's like one bed, a little like kitchen space, a couple windows, and a house plant. And that's it. Like, there's just nothing.
Like right when you first start Animal Crossing. Yeah.
Wilbur, this is all yours? This is amazing.
Yeah, this is my place.
Hi, Wilbur. I made sure your plant stayed alive, just so it's good.
Is this Wally?
This is Wally, yeah.
Thank you, Wally. I appreciate it. It looks so good. It looks so good. Yep.
Yeah.
This is my house. Yep. I know it's not a lot, but
No,
I really like it.
Let's be honest. Nothing that I own or actually nothing back home is mine. I don't own anything. So it's very impressive that this is all yours.
You hear a knock at the door. Actually, I'm sorry. Milo would be there first, so Wilma just busts through. Also, point of order, Wilbur, how big do you think your yurt is?
Big enough for this meeting?
It's tight. It's gonna be pretty tight with all of us in there.
Cool. Saren, you actually, I think Eldrin, you feel like a door just slam into your back. As Wilma just.
At that, I say, "Are you sure you don't want to have this meeting in Broomhilda's house?"
No, my place is fine. Fine.
Yep. 100%. I support you.
Hey, Dubby, I found a straggler. Is this one yours?
Is this another one of your best friends, Wilbur?
I think we both say this at the same time, just like this.
Ugh. No, this is my little sister Wilma.
Oh.
Excuse me,
nice to meet you,
younger sister.
This is my little sister.
means younger most times.
Also worse at archery.
Wow. Okay. All right. Yep. I see. You know what? I didn't even want to be friends with this group, anyways. And you see her just kind of like
This is very similar to Anrin.
turn her butt and walk straight up. I think the butt hits the door, which hits you in the back again as she leaves.
Eldrin's gritting her teeth and holding it together as best she can.
Hey, I stayed underwater for you, okay? You can stay in this little tiny house.
She don't say anything, all right? You're also nicer than Eldrin is.
Guar, I forgot to give Miranda an opportunity here. So Guar, as you are hurrying towards the house, you see a very Wilbur-looking creature leaving in a huff.
Wait, Wilbur, you're leaving already? What? Why are you leaving?
Miranda, if you'd like to do the honors here.
I'm not Wilbur. You giant weirdo.
I've been called worse. Wait, who are you then?
I'm Wilma.
Oh, of course. Well, of course I should have known that. So are you Wilbur's mom or something? No, I know Wilbur's mom. Are you Wilbur's brother?
Who are you?
What? You cut out.
Who the hell are you?
I'm Guaramana Marth. Nice to meet you.
Oh, I'm Guaramana Marth.
No, I'm Guaramana Marth.
Yeah.
You're Wilma.
Okay. Whatever. And she just walks away.
Cool.
Bye. I
At some
hits
point
me in the back again.
Yeah, I think at some point in the like towards the end of that conversation, you hear Brumhilda accidentally let out a prestidigitation in anger of just like yelling, Guar!
Yeah, I'm coming. Okay. I thought that was Wilbur. Sorry.
Brumhilda also would not be one that knocks. So Brumhilda like pushes the door open one more time. Eldrin, you get hit.
Yep.
And then I immediately do it again, so you get hit twice in like 2 seconds. I go, oh. I look at Wally. Wilbur, is this your house? No wonder you left.
Guar and Brumhilda, because of her hat, both have to duck in here.
Right.
Okay, this is insane. I'm just gonna say it. Why are we meeting here?
I'm mimicking Brumhilda behind her, like.
It's what Wilbur
it's
wants.
my house. I wanted everyone to see my house.
Wilbur wanted to host.
Okay, we've seen it. We walked in, we looked at it, we saw it. We go to the chicken house. This is. I mean, I understand it's plenty of space for you, Wilbur, and I'm still looking at Wally.
Mhm.
It's plenty of space for you, but you know, I mean, all of us in here,
Yeah, I could live here.
Milo's gonna reach his hand up and like just barely brush the ceiling, and it's fine.
Eldrin says, enough, all of you. You are being just so rude. Wilbur, let us come into his home, and you are going to be good guests, and you are going to let him host, and we're going to have this damn conversation.
I'm sorry,
So
Gerard
we
is
can figure out what the
breathing.
hell's going on.
Gerard's breathing into my mouth right now. I can't get
Shut up,
any
Guar.
space. You know we're not in Nori anymore, Your Highness.
That Gerard is looking at me funny. This is Wally.
That's wait, you know his face. And I look over at Wilbur. That's Gerard. He's like that. That's his face.
Yeah, I know Guar. Yeah, I know.
Okay. I also know.
Wait,
Okay. I
sorry,
call this
sorry,
meeting to
everyone.
order, or whatever they say.
Are her parents
Stop.
here? Is Sarah
Stop,
here?
Gerard.
Saren is here. Yes, Saren's been here the whole
Yeah.
time. Saren's managed to find like a corner of the room where nothing could possibly like hit her or anything. Broomhilda Broomhilda rolls her eyes, starts making furniture in Wilbur's like house, become smaller to make room.
I
You-
grab her hand as she does that and I say, Wilbur wanted us to see his house as it is, and we will leave it alone.
That's a good ass friend right there.
Of course, just like seriously.
You see Broomhilda's eyes turn bright yellow, to the point of like glowing, and I think yours like kind of just matches like in the like electric sort of blue for a second. Everybody sees this going on as you are holding her wrist, and she is not happy about it at all.
I get ready to cast.
It's
I
okay.
get ready to cast
it's
aid
okay.
on everyone.
It's okay. It's okay. Everyone just calm down. It's all right. If she wants to make furniture, that's okay. Eldrin, I appreciate you so much, but if she wants to do that, it's okay. Okay, so, Mom.
let go
Let
of
go
her
of my
wrist.
hand.
I
You
just,
all
So
feel
here's
You let go of her wrist. She does stop making the furniture small.
you all feel a sudden air of calm and peace fill the room.
Okay.
And specifically, I'm not going to tell you who gets protection from this spell, but
Okay.
you all just feel a sudden moment of peace in the room.
What are you casting?
Sanctuary
sanctuary.
and
Okay.
tranquility. And
Okay.
Guar just starts scratching Gerard behind his ears.
here's
It was just
the
awkward
here's the
sounds.
situation.
You hear a knock at the door.
Who's
Seriously?
Riley.
You see, you open. Whoever opens the door sees another wombat, slightly older in age, with a tooth around the necklace, as Walter has not made his way in here. And you see Riley kind of standing behind him.
Dad, come on in.
Are you sure?
Yeah, come on in. It's fine. You need to be in here for this.
Where?
Okay.
I press myself up against the wall as much as I can.
I could see he crowd surfs over us like.
Yeah.
You
hear
guys just
Broomhilda
passed him.
Yes.
You just passed him over to Wilbur.
And those time he's just
Yeah.
going, sorry.
Okay. All right. Okay. Broomhilda just like, this is ridiculous. Wilbur, may I?
Sure. What do you?
Okay. Just give me a second. And you see her like kind of just make this sort of like this movement with her hands, and the walls themselves start to kind of push outward slightly. Doesn't give a lot of space, but it's just enough that there's some breathing room there.
Oh, thank you.
You see her stick her head out and just say to Riley, Riley, it's probably best that you go back to the hut too.
Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? You sure about that?
Riley, if you would like to come into the sweatbox, by all means, you are invited. Sticks her head back in. Riley just pokes her head into the window and just kind of sits there staring now just outside in.
Right. So again, I'm calling this meeting to order, or
Wait, is your
whatever
mother
it is they say. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Wilma is here.
Winona's here.
Wait.
Or sorry,
Winona?
Winona is here.
So I think Wilbur at this point would just like really struggle to find the words and say, Mom, Dad, like we uncovered a message that said I'm gonna mess this up. The grove will run red with the blood of your. I'm gonna mess it up.
Hold on.
The grove will run
It's
run
the grove
red
will
with
be
the
red
blood
with
of
the
your
blood of your
brothers.
brothers.
Okay, so he would say that there's something evil coming to attack the grove. Everyone is in grave danger here.
I would step in and say, I understand you just met me in Guaramonamarth, by the way. I have dealt with this evil that Wilbur speaks of extensively, and I can tell you anything you need to know about them, how to prepare, and how to combat them. What I need to know is what is your preparedness for combat and to defend yourselves against enemies.
I think as you look around and like introduce yourself to the group as Guaramonamarth, you're looking at Wally for this, I think, and Wally just like kind of, and then Walter speaks up. Well, it's been a while since we've had a tabaxi attack. But
No. It's not the tabaxi. It's much worse.
Okay. In regards to defenses, every one of our able-bodied are trained with the bow and arrow. So
Okay, that's something. And you say train with the bow and arrow. How do you measure their effectiveness? Are they hunters? Are they gatherers? Are they marksmen? What are they doing?
oh, we don't really hunt for. I mean, we find like a carcass every once in a while and like get these like really like nifty pants that and, fully isn't like Guar. You recognize in this moment that like Walter is not understanding the concept here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but we have a like honey, I think maybe about 20 maybe 21 bows that we could hand out, and at least 20 arrows.
Chieftain, are you prepared to defend your village against an oncoming threat?
He just called me chieftain. What?
20 bows and 20 arrows is not going to be enough to defend against what is coming. You will be massacred.
Okay, all right. There's some strong language there. Well, Wilbur, you're probably most familiar with what we could do. What do we need to prepare for?
as Eldrin watches all this, she says, "Okay, you can answer that question over, but this is obviously not working. Give me a moment, and I'll go outside, and you can finish what's going on in here. But I'm going to do something out there."
Okay.
I don't know what this evil that's coming for the grove is going to look like, but I can tell you we need about tenfold the arrows that we have now.
Tenfold, 100-fold. What if they miss?
I mean, we could try and fold them. I don't think it's gonna work.
Oh, we're in trouble.
You see Wally shake his head and go, "I know for a fact they will not work if they're folded."
Maybe
So that
that was
obstacle,
when Eldrin said this isn't working and walked out.
that obstacle course is just for fun? You're not training for hand-to-hand combat? Oh.
If we have 20 arrows, I'm telling you we need 200.
War walks out
Okay. Cool.
to join Eldrin.
Cool. Yeah, you join Eldrin outside. What does Guar see Eldrin doing?
Eldrin walks far enough away so that Broomhilda can't hear her, and she uses her bracelet and says, "Cerilius, if you are so great, you need to come here to the grove with your creations, because your mistake of letting Tall go is going to massacre them."
Okay. Sorry, I couldn't help, but over here, you're talking to Cerilius, right?
Is it Riley?
It's Riley. Yeah, you look over and you see, and Riley is, Riley never wears much clothes. So it's very, it's,
Eldrin
it's
says, "I'm
jarring.
attempting to. Give me a moment." And I wait to see if he responds.
Okay. I understand. You know the relationship between Broomhilda and her father is frayed.
Are you talking to me?
I believe so, yeah.
I mean, yes, I know that, but sometimes you have to put aside those things if you want to save, a colony of 50 wombats who cannot protect themselves.
I see. I mean, I can help.
That's great. Then we'll have 3 powerful people who can help if I can get in touch with him.
Guar, I think you come out at this point.
Yeah. 3?
On top of us, Guar.
Okay, there you go. Thank you for clarifying. They have no fucking clue what they're doing in there.
I know.
What are we gonna do? I thought I could maybe train them or something, but there's not enough time. There's not enough time in many lifetimes to get them ready for this. We have to hide them.
I get nothing back.
No.
By the way, I know this is probably really bad timing for this, but I did find something and I wanted to show you, and I pull out the note from Hagen.
It was the back of the cover. So
Right,
did you bring the book?
Yeah.
What an awful time to bring that up, and I love it.
Yeah.
That's so Guar.
Before I forget, I'm going to forget if I don't do it. So, I just want to show you that. We don't have to deal with it right now. I just want to show you, because you probably know more.
Book about my family?
No, and I open it up and I show the note.
Oh.
Remember him?
Okay,
I
yeah.
barely
No,
remember
I
him.
do. That's very interesting. He failed to mention knowing, my father being in Anoria when we spoke. So that is very interesting. Thank you, Guar. I'll add it to the list of things we need to figure out.
Don't
I'm
be
not
so
mad at you, Guar. I'm just upset at
Yeah,
the
I know how feelings work probably better than you, but anyway.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's great.
I think we want to cut there and go back inside. We go back inside. Let's go down inside.
Nice.
Does anybody have what the note said again? I only have
Yeah,
the first half of it.
It said,
The grove will be red with the blood of your brothers.
That's
no, the Hagen's
The
note.
other one.
Oh, the Hagen.
It's to anyone who finds the damage to this book, I am sorry and will repay you when I can.
Okay.
Yes, the grove will run red. with
Yes,
blood
the
of your
grove
brothers.
will be red with the blood of your brothers.
Yeah.
Love Hagen.
I'm sorry, but I saw him and he didn't repay me at all while I was there. So.
But he ripped some pages out. So what pages were that? Would be really cool. But yeah, not the time. Anyway, so Riley, those vines would probably be really helpful. You could probably tie up the people that are attacking this grove, right?
So we're gonna pause you. We're gonna go back inside. So now at this point, Wilbur, you see two of your friends have walked out.
If you look out the window, we're arguing.
Yeah, you do see Winona kind of puts like a calming hand on your shoulder, Wilbur, and you hear her just kind of like whisper into your ears. Just tell them what to do.
There's going to be an attack on the grove. It's going to be by a very bad entity, creature. I don't know how to explain what's coming, but we need to figure out a plan to defend the grove. I don't know when it's going to happen. Honestly, I wasn't expecting to even be here on time. We need our most skilled archers. I need you to help me figure out a defensive plan, Dad.
Okay. Well, we're pretty good at digging, and we're pretty good at making stuff out of wood. Wilbur, I'm sorry, but if the attack is not it's not coming from an enemy that I understand, it sounds like you do. So you tell me what to say to them, and I'll do it.
Well, we need to get my friends back in here. We need to figure out a plan. The number one thing we need to do, though, is children and women have to stay hidden in their homes. That has to be made very clear.
Or potentially very deep under them.
Yeah, I would say point of order here. There's a point that like the homes themselves are just leathers and sticks and leaves.
They need to burrow under them. They need to be very hidden underground.
Okay.
We could do that. You see
They need to start.
Broomhilda.
They need to start prepping immediately.
Okay. You see Broomhilda kind of open the door and go, "Hey, idiots, get back in here."
Is this in the middle of us arguing?
I assume so. Yes. What do you? You guys want to roleplay that? Go ahead. Go for it.
Yeah, and Eldrin is. Well, what did you say? Oh, you said to me that you're better at emotions.
Mhm.
Roll a
Eldrin,
persuasion check.
Damn. Eldrin says, "Look, Guar, we're on edge right now, and I don't want us to argue. Let me just think for a second, and I'm gonna try divine intervention.
Okay.
It's not gonna work because I have to roll 11%
Yeah,
or
go for it
lower.
though.
Oh, 82.
Okay.
I get nothing from Persona. Eldrin's sad about that. Yeah, no, Eldrin like closes her eyes and is trying to like pray and beseeching Persona, but he doesn't call. He doesn't answer the call. So yeah, Eldrin will just be like, well, that's great. That's no help. Cerilius is useless. What do you propose, Guar?
Guar takes a knee and prays to Bahamut, but not necessarily in a beseeching way, but just like, because I feel like Guar at this point prays to Bahamut in a way of like, tell me, like, just like show me the way, right? Like, I don't need to be told, but you just like, I don't know. I feel like where Eldrin like literally talks to Persona, I think Guar is more like, I follow my instinct, and Bahamut's guiding my instinct. So I would just like be praying for an instinct to
cool.
follow.
It's got to be pretty high. But go ahead and roll me a religion check.
It's not gonna be good. Okay. Let's see. Where's my religion? There it is. Okay. 19.
Just under.
Fuck. Okay.
This is the point where Broomhilda like kind of knocks the door open and says, "Get in here, idiots."
I put my finger up to her because I'm far enough away that I'm hoping, like, I mean, that she's can't hear as well. And I'm gonna try one more time to Cerilius because I have my other bracelet, and I'm just gonna say, "How dare you create these creatures and this paradise for them and not give them the proper tools to protect themselves? What kind of celestial are you?"
Okay. You're doing this while the door is open. There is a possible thing where she could hear that. Okay, she does not hear that.
Guar's still praying because Guar's not an idiot, so he does not respond to that insult. So he just keeps praying.
Cool.
I wasn't talking to Guar.
I think
but
see.
Broomhilda says, "Get in here, idiots." Yeah.
Yeah, get in here, idiots.
Yeah.
You see her close the door behind you, and okay. The intention and the execution are very different. So I'll give you the execution first.
Okay.
She slaps Guar in the back of the head, and then comes up to you and goes, "I don't know who you're talking to right now, but your friend is trying to plan a defense system for hundreds of wombats. He could use your help. I know you're out here doing whatever."
What do you think we're doing? We're trying to help. Also, was that necessary?
Fine.
Bar gets up and goes back in, but only because he wants to.
Sure. Does Eldrin stay out?
She'll give it a minute to see if Cerilius responds.
Okay. No response. Broomhilda takes this moment to go, what could possess you to leave this wombat to figure this out for himself in there right now?
I look Broomhilda directly in the eyes.
No, you're gone. You're gone.
I'm gone? Oh,
Lars
I'm back
inside.
inside.
You went inside. Yep.
Sorry, I thought she was talking to me as we were going back in. My
Nope.
bad.
This is just her and Elgin. And you see like Riley also like kind of just like walks off.
Homer
Eldrin
backing in
says-
messages. Yeah.
Wilbur is fine. I'm trying to help in the ways that I know how.
Wilbur's not fine. Wilbur needs his party to figure this out. He has not been the leader of this group ever. And now he has to be. I don't know what you're doing, but you're doing it without him. This can't be more important.
You don't speak for Wilbur. Wilbur understands how I do things. And if he has a problem with me, he will tell me.
Some princess.
Ooh,
You see her walk back in.
jeez.
Eldrin will walk back in as well.
I have chest pain.
I
As you
think
guys
that's a
walk
good-
in,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, as you guys walk in, you'll hear Milo like, I'm not great with like making things out of wood, but I could try and make some arrows. I'm probably better trying to make some armor, like light armor for you guys, like leather. Yep. Ooh, leather's probably not good for you. Tree bark armor.
I walk over to Wilbur and I whisper, I whisper, but in primordial. I don't know if Broomhilda can speak primordial, but I'm hoping that maybe she can't. And I whisper that that Cerilius is a dead end.
I think we're going to take that opportunity as good a time as any to take our 10-minute break. All right. It's 10:36. I'll see you guys here at 10:46.
Thank you, Mike, because I was really confused.
I'm sorry, I forgot to mute myself, and I was like trying to send a voice text to someone, and I
All
kept messing
good.
it up, and Lorianne thought I was on a loop. I was like talking about how awesome D&D is.
I was like, what's going on? Did Joe like do some recordings with like people and just didn't include me? Like,
No, I was just talking about how I wasn't allowed to play D&D when I was a kid, and then I was like,
it was really hard though.
I found really nice people to play with, and it's really great, and everybody should do it. So that's
Session
all.
Agreed.
100.
I was gassing everybody up.
And with that, we are back into our we are back into our group. So at this point, so like looking at the tension filled air, as you all are kind of like stuck, like it's I think the tension just makes it worse, in the idea that everybody is like stuck against each other, so any sort of like normal annoyances are highly elevated in this moment. But Wilbur, you get the overwhelming sense of one, there are way too many people here for many reasons, but also in the reasoning of like there might need to be some delegation that's going on at this point. Also, Wally is just taking up way too much space in this room.
Mm-hmm. Does Wilbur respond to what I said to him?
I don't know.
I don't think Wilbur would really respond. He would just kind of nod and say, okay. Very unsurprised. Okay, so with that, Wilbur would look at Wally and say, Wally, I have a really important job for you right now. Okay.
Okay.
I need you to go and have them start preparing dinner for this evening.
Okay. The whole table?
Yep. Whole table.
Okay. I could do that. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. As Wally tries to get through. It's such a mess that a couple of you have to get out of Wilbur's yard to let Wally be able to get out. Wally gets out and starts to prepare dinner.
Wally's such a chunk. How
big is this? Not Wilbur's area, but their whole like yurt area where they all live. Like, how many square feet?
So like the whole grove itself.
Yeah, but like I would say more of like, are all their huts like in a one area, or is it all over?
It's pretty all over.
Okay, then the whole grove itself.
Okay, so the grove itself is about roughly about 500 by 500 feet.
So can you do some math for me and tell me how many square feet that is? Or
how many square feet that is?
Yeah.
I wish I just had the answer off the top of my head. How many?
Because I'm gonna sound real stupid right now. What's like 40,000 square feet? Like, how much is that? Like,
I mean, it's got to be
a lot, right?
Yeah, it's got to be more than what we just said.
Okay.
What? 500. I think it's 1,000.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. This is no.
What are you asking for? Because I'll probably just tell you that works.
Well, I don't have the components until I talk to Brimhilda to see if she does, but forbiddance.
Okay.
I was thinking tomorrow I could ward this entire area against the use of portals and teleportation for an entire day. And if anything does try and teleport in, it gets lots of damage.
Yeah, I'll say that would work. Yes.
Okay. We probably won't be able to do it because I doubt that Broomhilla has what I need, and she'd also mad at me.
Right.
Although that would be a
cool.
really bad reason to be like, that's a great idea, but I hate you, so I'm not giving it to you.
No. Yeah, I got it, but no.
I feel like if you're being productive to the defense plan, though, like she's not gonna be mad at you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you send Wally out to do dinner. Eldrin says, "So what else do you need, Wilbur?" Obviously, so Eldrin wasn't in here when you said the women and children thing, but I feel like she's on the same page. She's like, obviously, we need to protect women and children. Are we digging, or are you guys digging to get them out of the way?
Wilbur will look at Winona and say, I need you to go tell the women they need to start digging. They need to make bunkers. They trust you. I need you to do it.
Okay.
And I need you to keep them calm.
I could do that. Wilbur, I may be able to give us an understanding of how much time we have.
That would be amazing.
I haven't I've kind of turned it off since I've been back. But
if you could give us a time frame, that would help so much with planning. Because there's many things that I'm thinking of that may or may not work depending on how much time we have.
Yeah, okay.
But before I say, how dangerous is this? Is this similar to what Wilbur does? Or is this different, Wilbur? I don't want the same thing that happened to you to happen to your mother.
The assumption is it is the same, is roughly the same.
Okay, I look at it. Well, I'll wait for Wilbur to confirm.
Wilbur would know that. I don't think Eldrin would know.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll wait for Wilbur to confirm.
I don't think it's safe for her to do that.
Okay. What about? I look at Broomhilda. Scrying. Can you scry on something? Someone? I mean, have you ever seen? God damn it! Only Wilbur has seen Tall, right?
Wilbur has been in the mind of Tall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
only
I haven't
Guar has
seen
Tall.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. Eldrin doesn't completely understand scrying because she's just got those spells. So she says, "Do you need to? Can you scry on Tall, or do you need to have seen him before?"
I could try.
Like Guar explained something about him, or oh wait, what if you had something like I know you forgave yourself, Guar, and that's great and everything, but you still made a blood oath with Tall. Does a part of your that blood then like belong to him? Could we use that as a focus?
Maybe. You're welcome to try, but it's forgiven blood. But you can try it.
I mean, I don't know how your magic works, Broomhilda. I know how the magic of Persona works, but
to be honest with you, I'm a very powerful witch, but I'm not going to assume that I am more powerful than the thing that we are facing. So I will, as a last resort, I could try, but I would rather not put myself into that position.
I understand, and that's fine. But what I'm thinking is, none of us are more powerful than this thing, but we can be more we can be cleverer than it. And Tal may not think that we would use Guar in that way as some sort of tether or focus. So if we
Listen,
can
I'm
think
not.
outside of the box.
Listen, Eldrin, you are correct that no individual here may be more powerful than Tal, but that's why we are working together. Together, we can take him down. And if that means I give you some of my blood to see if that works, I'm happy to do it.
Or-
Just don't take it all.
I look at Saren, you have something.
Yeah, Saren is gonna pull out the jar of blood she has. This could work.
So you don't need my blood then. Good. I mean, it's fine. I just wasn't gonna look. I was gonna go like.
Where did you get that?
I have one too.
It's from Huxley,
It was no, it was
Oh,
right?
from the
from Brunte.
Oh, Brente. Oh, do you guys still have the silvery liquid stuff too? Or that was from the whatever that place was called. The hard
Mine's
card.
from Brunte.
Mine's from a the church or something.
The church in
Oh.
Midtown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait.
Oh, you can use scrying on stuff if you haven't seen it.
Mhm.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, Eldrin says when Broomhilda says that she's not sure if she wants to open herself up to that, Eldrin says that's fine. I can do it. I can do it tomorrow. So I don't know if we have tomorrow, but
Okay, yeah, knock yourself out.
I will.
Nothing. You really you understood that one?
Wilbur, you're still holding the floor here.
Milo, I need you to go find Wilma, and I need you to have Wilma take you to our craftsman to get arrows made.
Wilma's your little sister, right?
Yes.
I think Walter starts to explain like what Wilma looks like, and
We've
Exactly like that.
we've met. I'll find her.
Oh, okay.
Or she'll hit me with an arrow. Good for her.
I look at Broomhilda and I say, we left Honora in a hurry and I didn't have the time to collect many components. Do you have any gemstones or focuses worth gold? Anything that I can use for some of these things?
I'll check the wares.
Okay. Thank you.
The rest of us, we're gonna go walk around and figure out our defense plan here. Figure out where we can dig trenches. Can probably get.
Dig some pits too. We could dig some traps and
I'm
find
sure
some
I
ways to
could
do
help.
it, yes.
I'm sure I could help with the traps.
So
we have to figure this out. I'm sure we can get people up in the tree too. I think the tree might be good.
So Wilbur, you don't want Winona to do her seeing, correct?
I just don't think it's a good idea.
I don't know how much it can help, but I haven't communed with Persona today. I can take some time and ask a few questions and see if maybe he can see something that we can't. Even if he can give us just it's not going to happen today, like a yes or no to that. I think that would be enough.
Sure.
Unless you want me somewhere else.
Nope, do that. We have to do whatever we can. I think like the rest of us would just kind of like walk off and just start kind of like walking the perimeters of the grove.
Yeah, I think Guar would want to go with
Guar's
Wilbur.
practitioner brain.
Yeah, I would want to go with Wilbur because I would want to figure out, like, work together because, you know the lay of the land and I know tactics. So I think that would be a good team up.
Okay. So say
Yeah.
you two split off.
Walter will have to come with us too.
Okay.
Oh,
I was gonna,
I thought you said Wally, and I was like, God damn it.
should Saren
Oh.
also go with them to try to scout out places where they could set up traps?
You could. It's gonna be easier to start to split up to be able to kind of like take more ground to figure out what's going on that.
Okay.
So Eldrin, what are you doing?
I'm gonna sit down in the middle of her yurt or his yurt, and I'm going to spend 10 minutes to cast commune.
Okay. Milo, you're going to go find Wilma and then get to the craftsman.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Cool. So we'll say it's about 3 o'clock now. So you guys have about 3 hours.
It was
to get all this
closer.
done.
Wasn't it closer to nighttime when we left? Because we had like all come together after like our day of stuff.
Yeah, I would say honestly, in like in the timey-wimey way of, because you guys came in bright daylight too. So we'll say for whatever reason, it's about the time kind of works that way on that.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm fine with there's multiple excuses on why that might make sense. So
Yeah, that's fine.
So yeah, so you guys have about 3 hours to kind of figure out what's going on here on this. You see Winona kind of just Winona kind of wanders off. Broomhilda goes back to the hut with Riley. I think that's everybody. Yeah. Okay, so let's start with Milo. So Milo, you find Wilma. You convince Wilma to kind of like bring you to the master craftsman. Miranda, what's the master craftsman's name?
Oh, let me look at my.
Walden.
No, don't be silly.
I'm
Not
so sorry that I
Walden.
threw a W name out.
Don't be silly. It's not Walden. It's obviously Winston.
Cool. That was also what Mike put down too, by the way. I think it just happened to work.
That was his suggestion.
Yeah. Cool. Milo, you come to Winston.
Wilma, I'm telling you, I think you're okay for like, I'm assuming your age, but like you're not as good as Wilbur with a bow. I'm sorry.
You see Wilma kind of walk off when you say that, and in the background, as you are talking to Winston, the camera sees Wilma is just aiming.
She's going to be the one that kills me.
Yeah.
Murder wombat.
Yeah,
Combat
and
wombat.
you see a kind of like gruff, again, also plump a little bit more than the average wombat, but kind of like sitting at like a chair that he's kind of made for himself, and just making like little making these little like kind of like essentially like straw dolls.
Cute.
Oh, hello. You're one of the. I mean, you're not a wombat, so you
Not
want a
thus
straw
far.
doll?
How much are they?
What?
How much money do they cost?
How much are they? Well, I got like 50 here. Do you need more than one?
No, this one's perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
These are really cute. I was told you can make arrows.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. How fast do you think it takes you to make an arrow?
Oh, let's see. When do you need one by?
I need about 1,000 by tonight.
Cool. Is that what?
Just
So it
what?
sounds like maybe our dialects or what number?
So 1 and then followed by 3 zeros. I need 1,000.
I don't know how to make a 0 arrow. I'm sorry. Is that a new?
Okay. How many arrows can you make?
Like, when do you need it by?
Tonight.
Oh man. Yeah, I could. I mean, you caught me at a. I could probably. Yeah, I could make one. That's fine. Let me just put these dolls down.
Okay. Can I help you? Do you have like
Sure.
do you have other people that like make things with you? Like
I
other
mean,
crafts people?
I've done like
Crafts wombats?
classes and things like that. I've done like kind of like showing some of the youngsters how to.
Okay, we need to make a lot of arrows.
For what?
So you know tabaxi. You know that they're awful.
Are we under attack?
Not by tabaxi. That's the good news. The bad news is we're going to be under attack by something worse than tabaxi.
What?
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You see him like brush all the dolls off the table.
Okay. Grab that bundle. And starts to make them as fast as he can. He tells you to round up these people and explains to you what they look like. Not helpful at all.
Yeah.
So you get the feeling that you have to go around and ask, have you done an arrow making class before?
Okay.
With Winston. So yeah. So I assume you do that for the next 3 hours or 2 hours, and then like,
yeah, that'll be
cool. Awesome. Roll me a D6.
D6. 5.
5. Cool. You like word gets around. Do you explain what it's for?
Before I leave, I'm gonna say Winston. I'm gonna let Winston know that we're not trying to create a panic. So keep that news. And then I'm gonna say we're going to try and make as many as we can, just to see how many we can.
Okay, cool.
There'll be a
yeah,
project with the arrows later.
Yeah, Winston. Yeah, so you gather 50 wombats out to this
Damn.
like very large. You see Winston is extremely nervous as he explains, both with the amount of crowd he has that are paying attention to him, and him knowing what is possible. Yeah, and the secret. That being said, you assume there's going to be 50 arrows by turn time.
All right.
Cool. Go ahead.
Do I add any arrows to the to the number?
Roll me a d6.
It was a 3.
Cool. You make 3.
All right, 53.
Woo! 53 arrows.
Notable thing here, Wilbur. At this point, you've spent a good amount of time not needing arrows. So I think at a certain point, you possibly got rid of your quiver, or you still have it, but there's no arrows in it. Because Wilbur doesn't need arrows to shoot anymore. Lorian's giving me a look. Oh, okay, gotcha. Cool. All right. Saren and gotcha. Saren and Gerard. Saren, give me a your choice, either nature or survival check.
Definitely survival.
Cool.
Dirty 20.
Nice. 1 second. Let me check one thing. Cool. All right. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna bring the music down a little more. That should be okay. Okay. With a dirty 20, you start to kind of map out the areas of where, with your mindset of like, your tribe has been at war with several other tribes. You're familiar with war, especially on a wilderness sort of level. And you kind of like you look through the idea of like a scope. I think you like leave the grove for a second and you actually look from the outside surrounding it, like where would I attack? And from those places, roll me a so here's what I'm gonna have you do. So survival check was determining the die that you would roll. Which I'm going to say, go ahead and roll me a D10.
Okay. 7.
7. Okay, great. And then roll me a sleight of hand check. Because you said you were making traps, correct?
Yep.
Cool.
Or 16.
16. So here's what I'll say, and I'll actually I'll listen to this recording for next time. But here's a choice that I would make for you. So with a 16, we could say if you want the attack, or if you want the trap to work in the way of restraining a creature, you have set the DC. So the DC is going to be 16. If you would like to restrain them and do damage, and the damage itself would probably be equal to about like 3d6, the DC will be lower, so it's your choice.
I don't
and actually,
know how.
I'll give you like specifics. I'll say every 2d6 of damage would be 1 less for the DC.
So it's like 14. 15-ish.
Well, so it's 16 now. So if you wanted to bring the DC down to 15, they would do if they failed that, they would also receive 2d6 damage. If you brought it to 14, it'd be 4d6.
Oh, I can choose. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll do 15.
15, you got it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, and you set 7 of them, and I'm going to say they're kind of like, you plan on exactly like where they would kind of look at, and you get a pretty good feeling of it. I will put them kind of randomly on the map, but you'll know where they are.
What kind
Very
of
cool.
traps are we talking about?
Yeah, what kind of traps are there?
All I can think of is like tying rope across a tree so they run into it, like trips them and kind of
Okay.
fall into a hole. I could find a little wombat buddy that can help me dig some holes, put like leaves over it. So they trip over the rope and fall into the hole. Very
Okay.
cartoony.
I think that like Guar and Saren probably would have talked this over. I love those ideas. I was also thinking like full like Ewoks like in the Battle of Endor, like where there's like a lot of logs. So like there's a tripwire and like logs roll down the hill and like smash into people, or like
Yeah.
they're attached to
Okay.
trees and they like, smash into things. So and the pits
Yeah.
with like spikes in them or whatever. I love that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think the pit with spikes makes a lot of sense, especially with someone that can like dig, right? So the
Mhm.
logs would
Mhm.
take, I think, more time to make 7 of them.
Pits make a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah, pit with spikes works.
Mhm.
Cool. That means you have to, well, you'll have to probably tell one of the wombats what's going on. Do you think Saren does that?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Cool. All right. Also, Saren, roll an insight check.
Dirty 20, because that's one of my
Cool.
cool things with my reliable talent.
With a dirty 20, you notice as you are fastening the spikes in, at one point you're driving one of these like kind of like chiseled out pieces of wood in, and you can see before your eyes your hand, the ghostly image of your hand goes, and then your hand goes. You are separating further from your body right now. We'll say for the sake of brevity, the wombat certainly doesn't see it. And even if they did, they have no idea what you are or who you are. So, but yeah, you're reminded of that.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else, Sarah?
Nope.
Okay.
There's nobody around that's like on the brink of death that isn't important, is there?
Not that you see, not from the
Leave my wombats alone.
yeah, probably not
Yeah.
from the like around 200 wombats that are here.
Yeah,
Or we
not gonna,
said hundreds, so
she's not gonna hurt any of the wombats.
okay, cool. Eldrin, so you're doing commune?
Oh,
Yes.
real quick
I know it's
question.
not working.
The
Yes.
if I don't kill anybody today and wait until or whenever things attack, my disadvantage on dexterity, does that go away like the second I take a soul?
Yes.
Cool. Good to know.
Okay. So Eldrin, you cast commune.
Yeah. So Eldrin starts off by not asking a question first, but she didn't do her morning rituals today, and she's having a real bad day. So she's equating that to not being a good servant of Persona. So she's going to start off by, I think, like apologizing and just doing her normal like worshipy stuff, and then she'll go into questions. So the first question she asks is, can we safely sleep tonight? With like, and I'm trying to think if I should be more specific. Basically, can we safely take a long rest tonight without worrying about this enemy coming upon us?
You're doing this in Wilbur's yurt.
Mhm.
Okay. You feel a actually you feel a draft kind of come in from this like this sort of opening of the window that's kind of like propped open, right? And you smell this breeze kind of come through, and you can smell the seawater air from wherever you currently are, and you get a feeling of comfort in that and saying yes.
Okay. So her next question then is, so she's asking this, and because I'm thinking like she's thinking and then saying it out loud. She's asking this in the sense of like, because you know how like not every fight is a fight that you are going to fight. Sometimes you need to retreat and like or protect yourself. So she's saying, is this a fight we can win without heavy casualties?
If a fight that where you're playing defense on this, it's hard to justify the concept of winning. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
This is why I'm kind of allowing you to rephrase that. That is a tricky thing to say whether or not you win or not.
Can we subdue this threat without suffering major casualties? Realistically. I know anything's possible, but
you listen and you wait and you don't sense anything.
okay.
You get that as a question that cannot be answered.
Okay.
That does count though.
Yeah, it does. Okay, so my last question then. So this might be a waste of a question, but will the enemy be coming in the form of giants?
Say your question again.
Will the enemy be coming in the form of giants?
Yes is the answer to your question.
Okay. Okay.
So yes, you feel that same familiar sea breeze.
So I feel like, so I'm just asking from Eldrin's perspective. In the past, she's gotten like verbal responses from Persona. And then this time she's just getting like sea breezes and stuff. That's okay. All right.
Yep.
She's internalizing that as she's not great. She's not a good cleric. Okay, cool. Yeah, so she'll end her commune, and then go to find Broomhilda.
Okay.
To see what components she has. I figure that everyone else is doing perimeter stuff. Eldrin's gonna do magic planning stuff with Broomhilda.
Okay, cool. Let's pause you there because that could take pretty long. Guar
Yeah.
and Wilbur.
Present.
So you guys are going around the perimeter to try to. What was the intention there?
To figure out where we should be digging trenches, where we should place archers, get a general idea from Walter how many good wombats we have.
And
Okay.
strategy for retreat and attack and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. You get a clear understanding of which treetops could hold the weight of several wombats that are around that are kind of around the perimeter. This is kind of up to you, Miranda. Do you think that there is some sort of call or some sort of signal that only wombats know to communicate danger with each other? And what would that look like?
Oh, I know what it should be that we didn't talk about yet.
Okay.
Lighting
why
the
not?
bonfire.
Okay. Well, so lighting the bonfire is in the center. So you have to assume that the person who sees from the outside that sees the danger is going to go and try to light the bon. Like even shooting an arrow at the bonfire means you're shooting an arrow in at your own commune. I mean, it makes sense that the bonfire is saying, "Hey, we got company," but I'm saying, what would be the signal from the border, the people that you have up in the lookouts?
Mm.
Think about that, Guar.
Yeah, I'm gonna think about it.
Guar would be asking about what tools, weapons that are at their disposal. How proficient are they in using them? If it ever came to a melee sort of situation, as a last resort. He'd be talking about all the same things that I think Wilbur will be talking about, the vantage points, like other places to set up archers, places to dig trenches, or also can we get as many pointy sticks as possible? You can use them as spears. We can use them as siege sticks, so the spikes that stick out in front of battlements and stuff. Just anything that would be good to help with dealing with any sort of siege. Anything that could inhibit the forward movement of our enemy.
Sure. So in response to the tools and weaponry, you see Walter kind of push the hair back and show claws. But you get the feeling from that, and he would just tell you straight up, there's never been any reason for anything besides a cutting knife or things like that, which is essentially just a sharpened rock. So they have arrowheads and they have their claws. That's about it.
So that he would say, "Pointy sticks it is."
keep in mind, if you're making pointy sticks enough to be able to make a siege around this entire area,
Right.
people are going to ask questions.
That's true. I mean, even just like spears, you know.
It's the same concept. You're talking about a massive amount of weapons that are made. The time frame that you think that you have would make that tricky without alerting danger.
That's
Does that
true,
make
but I
sense?
mean, they're going to be alerted to danger no matter what eventually. So,
You're doing this in front of Wilbur, who has said like, we will not let them know until we absolutely need to.
okay, that's fair. So then, I guess War would then ask like Wilbur, like, how do we prepare for this without alerting or scaring people? Wombats, not people, wombats.
I think we have a couple people we can trust to keep it under wraps.
So the question is, if we're making, let's say, 500 sharp sticks, how do we do that? Who do we use?
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's the question.
Because we need to protect this grove, and we need to do it. We can't just like spare their feelings because they're going to be dead if we don't protect them.
Now, to be fair, I will say, like, if you're looking for it just to be like siege design sort of things,
Sure.
This area is massive. There's a possibility that even alerting everyone and having everyone start to make sticks, that it wouldn't be enough.
True.
In the idea where you have them as stakes, you don't know where the enemy's going to be coming from.
True. That's also true. Maybe we can use them as like part of the traps that Saren's making.
Okay.
And maybe like if we all work together, we can make more traps.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What if we create like you guys create like an area of where like instead of trying to protect the entire grove, we make it so that it's like an area where we're going to control the battle and they have to come to us there, and that is fortified.
That's smart. Yes.
So a bottleneck.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
But away from the wombats that are digging their little trenches, so that they're protected if like there's like an area of effect spell or.
Mm-hmm.
Any idea on the signal?
This is gonna sound really cliche. No, it's not. It's not. It's drums.
Cool. Yeah.
Man, I was this close to sing a
drums.
peacock sound.
So so we'll say that each like tree stand for the like the lookout tower of that is going to have a some sort of like bright sounding drum for everybody to be able to kind of be to hear that sound. Cool. Yeah, I think the sticks thing you can think about, and you can even you can either decide to put it in here, or we could, if we have time at the end, to kind of figure that. But we can,
Sure.
We can try that there. Yeah, think about how you wanted to view that, and obviously you guys can talk back and forth on here. Okay, cool. So, Eldrin, you're going up to Broomhilda's hut.
Yeah.
Okay. You come to the base of it. There's no ladder. There's nothing there.
I yell up. I say, Broomhilda, can I come up?
You see you see from the window, like she kind of like looks down. You see that she's looking back into the hut. You can tell she just got done with a conversation. I'll come down.
Okay.
She bamfs down.
I say they're not coming tonight. We have at least the night to rest and prepare. I don't know when they're coming, but the enemy will either be giants or be in the form of giants, or they will be a part of that. So I don't know if you know any weaknesses that they have. And then I say, were you able to look into what components you have for casting?
For that, I'm gonna have you roll me a d20.
Okay. Do I add anything to it?
Nope.
Is a 13 good, or should I use my inspiration to reroll that?
I would use your inspiration.
18.
Okay. She pulls out a. She like has like a small little bundle that she has tied to, and she kind of throws it to you. You feel the weight of like heavy stone. Looking inside, you see a dark red ruby.
Is it worth 1,000 gold pieces?
Yes. Do you say that in character?
I actually well, Eldrin wouldn't know it's worth 100 or 1,000 gold pieces. So yeah, Eldrin says, how much is it worth?
Roughly 1,000.
Okay. Do you have anything I can use to grind this up into a dust?
Yeah. I can have that ready for you. Let's take a walk. I want to show you something.
Okay.
You guys walk off, and you're walking towards the water. I will say at this point, you do run into Guar and Wilbur, who are discussing things. Broomhilda kind of gives a nod to them and keeps on walking.
As I'm walking by, I say to Wilbur, giants. There's going to be giants. And I keep walking with Broomhilda.
Wilbur, you also see that they're walking towards the waterfall.
Don't go under the waterfall.
I can breathe
Don't do
underwater,
it.
Wilbur.
No. Don't go under it. It'll kill you.
Okay. If you say so.
I'm serious. It'll kill you. Ask
wa-
Wally.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Yeah. I believe you.
Was Wally murdered by the waterfall? And I don't understand.
Wally was in the yurt with you.
I know.
Oh, okay.
No, Wally wasn't murdered by the waterfall. So one day Wally was looking at the waterfall and he saw in the mist a rainbow. And he knew that meant that the waterfall was trying to take him across the rainbow bridge.
Broomhilda's just kind of staring like... Broomhilda doesn't seem surprised by this answer.
Yeah, Eldrin doesn't laugh. Eldrin says, is this some sort of wombat lore? I've never heard of a rainbow bridge.
So have any wombats actually been murdered by the waterfall?
I'm pretty sure. Or else there wouldn't have been a rainbow.
How many wombats on record have been murdered by this waterfall?
We don't keep records.
Eldrin and Broomhilda walk off.
Do you know anyone who's been killed by the waterfall?
What does Broomhilda say?
Brumhilda just kind of like looks back at Wilbur and goes, "We'll be okay, Wilbur. It's all right."
No, no one I know has been killed by the waterfall because we all know to stay away from it. I tried so hard not to laugh.
As I'm walking with Broomhilda, Eldrin does honestly ask, he goes, is there something that I'm not understanding about rainbows on land? I mean, underwater, if you see a rainbow, it's very beautiful. I don't understand. Should I be worried?
No, but
Okay.
just so you know, we're going to the waterfall.
Does the rainbow happen when the sun is out?
Yeah, it was a sunny day.
Yes. And so the sun, Wilbur, reflects off of the water, and the water and the sun, they bounce off of each other, and the light refracts and becomes...
We'll
I don't
let that
think-
conversation start to
I don't
die
think
out.
that's how it works. I think the
as-
waterfall kills people.
uh,
That fades out as I'm walking with Broomhilda to my death.
you walk. There's a kind of like a small like sort of pathway that goes like right kind of next to the like just the beating sort of area of that waterfall. Would you like to go first, or would you want me to?
What are we doing?
I told you we're going under the waterfall.
Okay, the waterfall that Wilbur just told me will kill me.
What do you know
You can go
about?
first.
What do you know about my father?
What do I know about him?
Yeah.
Barely nothing, honestly. My archmage has a book called Cerilius the Fallen. Maybe you can ask Saren about that. She has Wilbur and I could make heads or tails of it.
I remember I'm in it.
Did you take me all the way over here to talk about your father?
Yeah. And she goes in.
Okay. I follow her.
Cool. So point of order, does Eldrin know about what Wilbur is? I believe that full conversation happened, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, Eldrin knows.
Cool. You see Brumhilda kind of like walk out ahead of you, and she gets drenched. She allows it to happen as this waterfall, which again is about 50 feet high, so you feel the pressure from it. Eldrin, I think honestly you could there's got to be something that like keeps you from even if you wanted to say you just don't get wet from this, I'd be okay with it, but it's up to you.
She'd want to. It feels like home. So
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, cool. So you feel the beating kind of water, and it feels really nice.
Mm-hmm.
You see Brumhilda has moved behind the waterfall.
Okay, I follow.
As you follow, you feel
At a slower speed because I forgot I'm 20 feet is my speed with the stupid armor.
Yeah, she's walking. It's fine.
Okay.
As you come underneath the waterfall, you hear her like words kind of echoing against the cave walls that you're underneath. She goes, "This is why Wilbur thinks this waterfall would kill him." And she keeps on walking. You continue to walk with her. See, my father kept a lot of things secret. from this place and used what he could to manipulate them into doing what he wants. Or not doing what he wants. And as you walk in, you see Brumhilda has stopped, and even with your dark vision, you can see that you're in a room where there's some there's some things like in the distance, and it's hard to see. And as you're trying to kind of make them out, you see her light her staff on fire, and you can see that this is clearly where Cerilius had started his experiments.
Okay.
She lets you look around for a second. You can tell she's absolutely been here before, so she just kind of lets you take it in for a second. And there's a lot of there's just a lot of crazy experiment sort of stuff. You see like machine sort of things that you're not very you have no kind of understanding of as a Triton, but you get the gist of it.
Why are you showing me this?
Because I know you reached out to him.
Yeah? Did Riley tell you that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think the world is as black and white as some people do. But take a look around this room and tell me if my father is someone that you think you could trust to help you in this.
I didn't call him because I think I could trust him. I reached out to him because this is his mess that he needs to clean up. Not only did he create this species, he is the reason Tal is out in the world. And I was hoping that after what he did to Wilbur and what Wilbur signed and has become, that after that he would have some semblance of humanity and come and help Wilbur out in this situation.
To have humanity, you have to be human in some way. And
well, he has...
I say, as you can see, there's nothing humane about this.
I mean, he may be a celestial, but he has some sort of humanity. He let Tal... Wait, do I know that he let Tal go to protect her? Did Wilbur tell me that?
I think so.
Okay, so I say, he has some humanity. He let Paul go to protect you. If he had no humanity, he wouldn't have done any of that.
You see a look of confusion across her face. What are you talking about?
He had a job. He was supposed to bring Tal in to be judged or whatever it is.
Yes, he failed. Yes, yeah, that's. I believe I even told you guys that.
He failed. He failed because he didn't want them to find out about you.
You can see Brumhilda's Brumhilda's confusion looks aggressive as she doesn't like not knowing something. What are you talking about? Why would that protect me?
I don't know. Unfortunately, Wilbur doesn't always give every detail just some things. He told me that. Actually, no, it was Aurelius that told us, I think. And I just say, it's confusing. Wilbur's told me some things, your father some other things, but he was trying to protect you because you are powerful and you are half celestial. And if these primordials or whatever it is that Wilbur is now, I don't know, they could hurt you or use you. I don't know. You would have to ask him. I thought you knew. I'm sorry.
You're... I guess I thought Tritons were smarter. Yes, I'm half celestial. I'm human and I'm celestial. What does that have to do with protecting me?
I don't know. Maybe he wasn't supposed to make a half human, half celestial child.
I believe this might be. I'm pretty sure Wilbur knows. I don't know if Wilbur explained this. Miranda, do you know what I'm talking about?
I know Wilbur
I
specifically
know what
didn't tell me about the half-breed thing.
Oh, okay.
So that's why, like, Eldrin knows some of it, but there are certain things, like, Wilbur either didn't tell her or kind of just...
We'll put this as a point of reference. I think this would be really interesting to, and obviously it is your choice on this. But Wilbur, I imagine you probably would have told Eldrin this.
Yeah.
Okay. So at this point,
I remember
Eldrin
at one
is your
point
choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Eldrin says, the word used is very unkind. Something about a half-breed. I don't know if that means anything to you. And for the record, Tritons are very smart. That's besides the point.
That's not actually. Yeah, she would
not?
half-breeds could also be human and celestial. That would also be considered to be half-breed. The important point is where Wilbur heard half-breed.
Oh, okay. What's that plane called again? The
would have been on the ethereal plane, but
the ethereal
meeting,
plane,
the meeting that took place.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I say, I'm gonna. Wilbur, you know Wilbur was with your father and had some sort of meeting on the ethereal plane?
Yep.
Do you know who was there? Bunch of primordials.
Okay.
Apparently, I mean, that is where the phrase half-breed came up, in reference to what Wilbur was assuming is you.
Okay, So here's what I'll say. She's not human and celestial.
Oh, is she? What is she then?
Wilbur, you know. Miranda's looking at me blank, so I don't know.
I'm blanking. I was trying to look through my notes real quick.
I'm going to run up and tell her real quick.
Okay.
Lorian, I'm gonna message you.
Okay.
Yeah, I apologize, gang. I thought that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's he called? Okay. Yeah. So Eldrin says, like I said, Wilbur gives me things in pieces and isn't always clear. Something about a living light and half of that.
Yeah, that's what tall is from.
No, you. That you're.
I don't understand.
I am the worst person to be having this conversation with you. You're half celestial and half living light, whatever that is.
No. Elgin, roll me a perception check.
Mother's gonna hate Wilbur.
17.
Okay. You feel being attuned to like electrical storms and things like that. You feel a weird sort of like change in like this like radiant sort of energy. You look down, you see some pebbles seem to be like floating from their area in the caves. No,
I look at her and I say, "You need to calm down," and I cast Calm Emotions.
Okay. So you're casting a spell on Brumhilda?
Yeah.
Okay.
Charisma 16.
Charisma?
16.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You cast Calm Emotions on. Don't. Did you just cast a spell on me? You feel the entire cave start to shake. What are you talking about? No, my mother is human. The Cerilius told me that my mother was human, and we never met because you're stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. That doesn't make any sense.
A lot of things don't make sense in this world.
No, you. You see, she's like kind of like shaking her head, and you see her eyes are like glitching out gold. You get a feeling of danger in this moment, as you see her kind of imploding. What does Eldrin do here?
Oh, since that didn't work on me, I mean on her. I tell her, I say, "You need to calm down. I will stay here with you until you do." And then I cast Sanctuary on myself.
Okay. Roll me a persuasion. Oh God. You got to get a nat 20. You got to get a nat 20.
Okay. Can I guide myself?
Sure.
Can I guide myself before I can? No, Sanctuary.
It doesn't help. It doesn't help with the nat 20, but yeah. Well, I'll say this: with the guiding, because you got to get a 20. So what you have to roll at least
I have to roll at least I have a -1, so I would have to roll.
Right.
I would have to at least roll a 1. Like,
We'll roll the d4 first.
okay. A 4.
Okay.
No, a 2.
I
can't
2.
read things.
Okay.
2.
So math, you need to roll at least a 19, right?
Okay. Yep. It's not gonna happen. 14.
Okay. You see her start screaming at you of saying you don't know what you're talking about and making just weird sort. You hear of the voice starts to cut out into like this double speak where you actually hear two different voices, one with normal Broomhilda's voice and the other one being darker and almost mechanical in some way of its echoing.
Not that it'll
and-
matter, but if she
yeah.
tries anything that will hurt me or attack me or a spell, he has to do a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
It's
Cool.
not gonna matter.
This is not going to matter at all. So
Her DC is 16, Joe.
so here's what we'll do to end this session. Okay. Guar and Wilbur.
God, Wilbur
You're-
gonna think of this.
You're having a discussion. About Rainbow Road.
So the light is coming from there, and then it bounces off the water, and then it becomes. It gives the illusion of a rainbow.
No, the rainbow is there because if you go under the waterfall, it's going to kill you, and that's how you go across the Rainbow Bridge.
I
You
cannot.
hear a massive explosion. I don't know if you guys heard that, but you hear a massive erupt as the you see the there are like still like people that are in the that are in the pond that start running, screaming out as the entire hillside falls in on itself and into the water. And with that, we're going to end tonight's session.
That wasn't because of the rainbow.
Eldrin,
I hope
what
you guys
did
don't feel
you
like I railroaded
do?
that.
And that's why you don't piss off Broomhilda.
What did you do?
But yeah, she did not know. So point of clarification on something, and I apologize if it seemed like I was railroading that moment, but I feel like I was like, I started that in the idea that you had that information.
Which
so
is fine.
hopefully that
I'm
didn't-
totally fine with it being that way. I just remember at one point Miranda saying that she told Eldrin everything except the stuff about Broomhilda, but I could see Wilbur then eventually telling me everything.
Yeah, because I also remember, honey, I asked you like why, and you were like, I don't know, I just because I think that
Yeah.
was like there wasn't a clear reasoning on that. But that's okay. That is what it is.
Eldrin's the absolute worst person to tell her that, which is why that was the best.
Yeah.
Eldrin's fine. She's like, look, logically I understand you're upset, but you shouldn't be taking it out on me. Like,
So-
come
Right.
on.
So did we reveal what other half she is, or no? Or only you guys know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I must have missed
as
that.
far as to the whole
Oh,
group.
she's half living light and half
Early
celestial,
half
and
living
she's
light.
half-
Okay, that didn't register
Yeah.
for me. Okay.
So that was for the record, that was kind of a relatively big reveal based on way back when there was multiple points where like Broomhilda has even said like, yeah, Cerilius never let me visit Celestia for some reason.
Right.
And that was why, because
So-
everybody that was brought through died.
Wait,
Everybody that was
it's-
living light that was brought to Celestia died
Okay.
Right.
or ceased to exist.
So basically, Guar's in love with a lamp. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So he
Well, remember,
jacked up
so
with a
what?
living light.
Yeah, what tall is living light. That's
Right.
what tall is. So you're and remembering Tall is like a being of uh in some ways the negative emotion, right? So everything, so it is the emotive sort of factor here. Um whatever whatever Cerilius got himself involved with, that made Broomhilda, uh that being is a being of pure emotion.
Right.
So there's also like many reasons why, like, and again, that was why like Cerilius was like, every time, like, Cerilius is a celestial. It is
Right.
weird that a celestial would see a half celestial and be frightened. Like in the scenes where Broomhilda
Right.
is like,
She blew the roof off of the tavern. Yeah.
Mhm.
right.
Right.
Um,
Which makes sense why she keeps her emotions in check all the time.
right.
And why
exactly.
he was so weird when he was at the tavern. Like he
Mhm.
was so nervous about being there and couldn't wait to get out.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So the reservedness of Broomhilda's emotions are built fully on that, with a lot of help from Cerilius of like bottling those.
Mhm. But she's the half breed. She's not the living light that the other one said he still has. Like, because there's Tall, and then the one of the guys was like, my person might still work out or intervene or whatever, right?
Correct.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we're talking about 3 people: Tall,
Mhm.
that one, and Broomhilda. Okay.
Also, by the way, Guar, the last thing Celeste said to you was, "Tell Broomhilda I'm sorry."
Right.
Mhm.
Right. I was thinking, like, as soon as you said, like, Broomhilda doesn't like knowing things.
Doesn't like
I
not
was,
knowing things. Yeah.
yeah.
Doesn't like knowing them.
But like, no one likes not knowing things. But like, but Celeste really like lost it whenever they didn't know something, and so Broomhilda had like the same reaction of not knowing something, and she really like lost it. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that wasn't necessarily the intention, but the
No,
idea of saying
right.
like, "Tell Broomhilda I'm sorry," is because uh, Celeste is most likely having to meet with someone involving Broomhilda.
Got it. Which is interesting because whenever I did tell Broomhilda that, Broomhilda was like, "What are you talking about?"
And she was also freaked out by it. She was
Yeah.
noticeably angry.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
and that's kind of why. I mean, I don't know if it came across, but that was why like Broomhilda already seemed on edge.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So
But I mean, I don't know. I think Guar's just used to Broomhilda being on edge around him because he like
She's always on edge.
he
yeah.
bugs her for some reason, even though he's just very charming and awesome. But you know,
Well, she's always an asshole, right? So
yeah,
that's true. But the uh I try to make it seem like she is aggressive in those moments.
sure, yeah,
You know what I mean? So
for sure. Which is really funny because like in those situations, that means that Guar is more in control of his emotions than she is.
right. Yeah.
Which is really funny to me.
Yeah.
So like Guar's done more work on it than she has.
Mm-hmm.
So
What's funny is so Lorian, her lowest stat is charisma, but I rolled a natural 18.
Eh.
So
The last time
yeah.
Eldrin cast calm emotions on someone, it was Kanos, and he accidentally hurt her for 3 HP, and then she died because she that later that day. I'm just saying, and she wouldn't have died because she wouldn't have gone unconscious if she had had those 3 HP. Just saying.
Right. Also, Aldrin, you just had a 50 feet of rock fall on you.
Mm-hmm.
So just let you
I'm wearing plate armor.
know. All right. Cool, gang. Well, so we got a lot done. We I don't know what Starbucks doing behind me, but we set up the idea of the defenses around. Um, we we set up traps. We have arrows that are being made, and we know that there would be a long rest before before the fight.
Nabracus has a living light from his plane who's still on the material plane. There we go. Took me a while.
Oh, you're good. This is like I said, this is going way back too. So
I think I know who that one is.
7622.
Dang.
Maybe Celeste is a living light and Celeste is Brimhilda's mom.
Maybe.
That would be sick.
Well, as you guys are thinking about that, we will do our kudos and things that we're excited about. So we'll do this in order. So we'll start with Lorianne.
Kudos to everyone with the planning. I think you all came up with some good ideas for how to make this make this go in our favor. I am excited to see, you know, how much damage I took, and if I'm dead. And yeah,
You're
excited
not
to
dead. I
see.
will allow it.
Well, yeah, because if I die, North goes on a like a avenging thing, and he kills you first,
Rampage.
Mar. So yeah, rampage.
Mhm.
Yeah,
He did say if Eldrin anything happens to Eldrin, I'm gonna kill you.
Yep.
Mhm.
I could take him.
He's a man of his word.
I could take him.
Man,
It's
that's
fine.
weird. Cool. Mike.
Same. Kudos to everybody. I'm really having a good time seeing Wilbur shine a little bit here. It's nice to be in a different context, biome, so we can. Because I think it's all been very Triton heavy, which is great, but like it's just nice to have like the focus shift to Wilbur, and get Wilbur's backstory and get Wilbur's kind of you see how the sausage is made on Wilbur's end. I think that we all worked pretty well together. I'm really interested in understanding a little bit more about what Milo is talking about with. Oh my God, why am I blanking on his name?
Oren.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a really interesting conversation. I think it's gonna be interesting to see how Saren, what soul Saren's gonna have to take to.
Maybe mine.
No.
Absolutely not.
Peter quota, and to see if what goes on with and how Eldrin will absolutely survive that. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, you know, Guar might need, you know, he's had enough drama in his life. He might want to get to know Riley a little better. That just might be a little, just like a much more chill life. She also actually acts like she's interested, at least on some level, so that'd be cool.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest here. There's a lot you don't know about Riley.
Of course not.
I
But
was
like,
gonna say, I do not get good vibes about Riley.
No one knows. No one's found out very much about Riley.
I get the vibe that Riley and Grimhilda are together. That's my vibe.
I have tried to get to know Riley more than anyone else. Okay, and she seems at least more like open to like engaging on a human level. So that's nice.
Well, now you know why.
Because
Brimhilda's not human.
Brimhilda's not human.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how we can figure out the strategy to protect the wombats and how we're gonna fight these giants. So,
you know, it'll be really good if this whole rock thing that fell on me, if it ground the ruby. I don't have to do that.
Not you.
If it grinds the ruby. So yeah, and that was something that too. Like now I read that like kind of not went over anyone's heads, but like didn't get picked up. full disclosure, I thought I would get a bigger response to the idea of being to have a point of humanity, you have to be human. The like double-edged sword of that was because I thought, Lorianne, that you knew that technically Broomhilda's not human.
Okay.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Cool. All right. Jamie.
Kudos to Lorianne. I love uncomfortable Eldrin. She's fantastic.
Just from two extremes, overcompensating
Yeah.
and being really nice to Wilbur to angry.
Yeah. It's really great. I'm looking forward to seeing what happened under the mountain, or what the state under that hill is currently.
Yeah.
Yep.
What the state Underhill is currently.
Ayo.
But
Thank you. Okay. Kayla.
Yep, exactly what everyone said. Kudos to everyone for doing their part in the plans, and I liked all of Eldrin's bickering back and forth with both Cor and Broomhilda. I'm happy we finally get to meet a lot more of Wilbur's family, and I'm excited to use my dragonfly wings to fight giants, because that sounds badass as hell.
ooh,
Cool. Awesome. And last but not least, Miranda.
okay. Well, first of all, kudos to you guys for understanding Rainbow Bridge, because when I was telling Joe about this, he goes, what? And I said, what do you don't know the Rainbow Bridge euphemism? Like, he literally had no idea. I had to explain it to him. So
Listen,
I'm glad that you guys understood it.
In my defense, half of you had no reaction to that. So I'm convinced that some of you have no clue what Rainbow Bridge, because that's what I had no idea. Besides, like, you said Rainbow Bridge, and I was like, oh, the level in Mario Kart. Like,
No, that's Rainbow Road.
I mean, it was like,
yeah.
Rainbow Bridge is where the pets go when they leave you.
Yes, I just thought that was common
Rainbow
knowledge.
Bridge.
Show of hands, who knew that? All right, cool. It's just me. All right, I stand corrected. And that is on stream.
The other option is the entrance to nope, it's gone. Where Thor's from.
Nope.
Where Thor's from.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Valhalla.
Valhalla, yeah.
Valhalla.
Valhalla.
I just remember all dogs go to heaven.
That'd be okay.
I was fully that train left without the caboose.
We watched it happen. It was wonderful. Is she wearing clothes?
The best part was
by the way,
and then nope.
It's not Valhalla, it's Asgard.
Asgard,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
sure it wasn't Valhalla.
Actually, it's Asgard, not Valhalla.
Yeah, gang. So, yeah, kudos to Job Out. That was. I'm so sorry. Yeah, no, wait.
Yeah. So, aside from the kudos for the Rainbow Bridge, kudos to everyone's role in the strategic planning, because I am not a combat savvy planning person at all. So I really appreciate you guys on that. I'm excited to kill the big bad, but I'm also not excited to face the big bad and see what damage has been done in the cave. Thanks to Eldrin.
Hey, Eldrin just being, Eldrin. You don't know this fact about yourself? Let me tell you. Also, I'm very happy that Jamie said that he liked Eldrin today because I was like, am I being too mean? I got too far.
Not at all.
I felt that with Broomhilda. I was like, it makes sense for her to be aggressive, but I feel like everybody's taken this as coming from Joe. So which it wasn't, because this is a perfect time to say this, because I love you all very much. And I hope you all have an amazing rest of your week. And let's find out what happens to Eldrin and hopefully maybe fight some giants next week. So see you
Hey,
guys.
Joe, let's keep the feelings pretend. Thanks.
Okay, you got it. Bye.
Bye.